December 10th. Outside the village of List. The wife of the fourth Hokage, a village hidden in the foliage, gives birth to his third child. The first children in the family were twins, Mika Namikaze and Menma Namikaze. At the moment they are 3 years old. Biwako Sarutobi, push, kushina. I can't Biwako Sarutobi. Just a little more after another 10 agonizing minutes, a small child was born, who was nicknamed Naruto Uzumaki. The head of the village and Kushina's husband, the fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze, looked at his newborn son with disdain. He was dissatisfied with the fact that the genes of the Uzumaki clan had supplanted the genes of the Namikaze clan. Since Minato had long since lost interest in Kushina, he did not think about anything but the revival of the Namikaze clan. He didn't like that his son had more Uzumaki genes. The baby was red-haired, with purple eyes, from his mother, but despite this, Minato did not look up from restoring the seal restraining the tailed beast until he heard a dull sound at the other end of the room. Unknown, fourth, get away from Jinchuriki, or your son will die before he has lived a day in this rotten world. Next to the unknown lay the corpse of Biwako Minato Namikaze. Let the child go. An unknown shinobi threw the child up, throwing a kunai in the wake of a small child, with an explosive seal. Minato reacted immediately and moved to his son and heard the sound of an explosive seal attached to the kunai. After carrying his son home and putting him on the bed, he wanted to move to the shelter where Kushina was giving birth, but the seal of the thunder god did not work. The next second, he heard a roar that chilled to the bone. In the center of Konoha, he saw a huge, 9-tailed fox, 30 feet long. And there was a Sharingan burning in his eyes. He moved to the central square of Konoha, where all the Hunins were already. Hiruzen Sarutobi, Minato, what are we going to do? Minato Namikaze, I'll take the fox outside the village, and you and the sealing squad will follow me. Hiruzen Sarutobi, good. Minato immediately moved towards the fox, but immediately he had to block a direct blow to the head from an unknown. Seeing this, Hiruzen sent a ninja squad to Minato, and he called the Monkey King, after which he began to restrain the fox. Unknown, Kato, the great fireball. Minato used Hiraishin and moved behind the opponent's back, then stabbed Rasengan in the back. But to the surprise of the fourth Rasengan, he passed through the enemy. An Umbu squad joined the fight, giving Minato a chance to move the fox away from the village. The unknown could not interfere with the fourth, as a lot of kunai, shurikens, and various techniques from D to B rank were flying at him from all sides. Unknown, we will meet again, fourth, this is not the end. Minato Namikaze, I hope our next meeting will be the last. The unknown disappeared in a spiral, and the next moment the fox hesitated, trying to figure out what was happening. This time was enough for Minato to move the fox outside Konoha. The sealing squad was on his head, and after the appearance of the Hokage, and the fox began to fold the seals, for a restraining barrier. Minato carried his son and laid him on the altar. Sarutobi Hiruzen, Minato, I will seal the fox in Naruto myself with the help of the god of death. Minato Namikaze, good. Having folded a series of seals, Hiruzen sealed the fox in Naruto and gave his soul for it, and died. Minato called the 2 Umbu to him. Minato Namikaze, Weasel, find my wife and take her to the hospital. Bear, take the body of the third and take it to the morgue. I will notify his family myself, and everyone who is here is prohibited from disclosing information about Jinchuriki. The disclosure of this information will be punishable by death. Minato used the Flying Thunder God technique and put Naruto in front of the shelter, leaving a note with his name. For years later, Umbu, Hokage-sama, Jinchuriki has been beaten up again and is in the hospital. Minato, again. Yes, how much is already possible? They didn't get tired of beating him. I even allocated him an apartment to avoid incidents in the shelter, and they set it on fire 2 weeks ago, and that's not enough for them. Hokage said plaintively, rubbing his hands. Jinchuriki is in stable condition and tomorrow he will be discharged. Can I go, Minato, free? Hi, Hokage-sama. Kushina's flashback. After Minato saved our son, the ceiling exploded and an unknown person took me out of the shelter, then began to extract Biju from me. I could not oppose him anything, since I had not yet retired from childbirth. After he pulled the tail demon out of me, I felt weak, my eyes began to get cloudy, and all the muscles went limp and I lost consciousness. I woke up in the hospital, my whole body ached from terrible pain, so I lay for a couple more minutes, after which a nurse came into the room. When she saw that I woke up, she immediately ran away and after a couple of minutes Minato appeared in front of me. I had a lot of questions, but right now I was only interested in one most of all. Kushina, Minato, what's wrong with Naruto? Minato, he died while sealing the fox. Tears started flowing from these words. I felt that everything inside me shrank, and my heart began to beat faster. Forgetting about the pain, I curled up into a ball and began to sob. Minato, don't be so sad, our son was a hero. But unfortunately it could not withstand the force of the fox, and we had to reprint it. But I didn't care about his words, I was immersed in myself and couldn't do anything with myself. A week later, I was discharged and I decided that I would live only for the sake of my children, and I would do everything for their well-being. Flashback. Chief Physician, get out, demon. I got out of bed and walked out of the ward accompanied by a look full of hatred. After leaving the hospital, I went outside and took a deep breath. It was about 6 o'clock, but since it was the beginning of June, it was getting dark slowly. I decided not to go home and buy groceries tomorrow. Well, how to say groceries, rather fast-cooked ramen. I went to my favorite place, outside of Konoha. On the way I climbed into someone else's garden and picked a couple of apples and pears there and set off. When I reached my favorite place, I put the fruit on the ground by the tree and lay down next to it. My favorite place was the cliff at the bottom of which there was a river. The sound of this river always calmed me and put all my thoughts in order. After lying like that for about 4 more hours, I heard the sounds of footsteps. Before I could get up, a shinobi of a leaf appeared in front of me, judging by the vest, Chunin. Chunin, well. Who do we have here? Oh yes, it's a demon. I wanted to run away, but he, with a strong blow to the stomach, forced me to grab air with my lips. He grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and threw me into the opposite tree. Everything started to get dark and dizzy in my eyes. I saw the smeared silhouette of this shinobi. In his hands he was holding something red and yellow. He rested his knee on my chest and brought something incomprehensible to my face and I immediately felt the heat. And then I realized that it was a red, hot kunai. Chunin, you know what I hate most about you? These are your stripes on your cheeks. In the next second, he made his knees hold my hands, and with his left hand he began to hold my head. Naruto, don't, please. Chunin, this is for my brother. All the turbidity that was in the eyes immediately disappeared from the sharp pain. He pulled me by my long hair when I started to pass out, thereby preventing me from falling asleep. When he finished with one cheek, he proceeded to disfigure the other with a manic smile. By the end of this torture, I could no longer scream, as I had lost my voice. And now it's time to finish with you. He threw me over the abyss and then threw a kunai with a fishing line. The fishing line wrapped me and then I saw him folding seals. Chunin, lightning technique, electric discharge. A current ran through my body. I could no longer scream and my body was twisting in terrible convulsions. At the end, I felt the fishing line weaken, and in the eyes of that shinobi there was a look full of joy and a sense of accomplishment. The next day, Hokage-sama, Jinchuriki is gone. Minato, what? How? This is a military village. As a 4-year-old boy and more importantly, the village's weapons could have gone missing? Minato, summon the head of the root and the head of the Yamanaka clan to me. A couple of minutes later, Danzo and the head of the Yamanaka clan were already standing in the cockpit. Minato, Jinchuriki Fox is missing. Danzo, what? You have lost the village's weapons. Minato, calm down Danzo. I called you so that the fighters of the root, together with the members of the Yamanaka clan, would inspire all the villagers that the Jinchuriki is at the root of the Umbu. We cannot allow information to leak that Jinchuriki has escaped. Danzo, do you have any idea how much time it will take to rewrite the memories of the whole village? Minato, I understand everything. Therefore, I also instruct you and your fighters to find the Fox Jinchuriki. Inoichi Yamanaka, even if we start right now, there is a high probability of information leakage. Minato, therefore, first I will close the village for 2 days, during which time you have to process the residents, and then the shinobi. Only a few trusted persons and hunins will know that Jinchuriki is missing. Danzo, I agree, but when we find Jinchuriki, I want you to give it to me. Minato, I agree. Inoichi, what? Minato, it will be turned into a loyal weapon of the village, besides, in the future I will not be able to prevent it. Danzo, okay, let the Yamanaka clan people be in front of the root building, I'll send my best squad to search for Jinchuriki. Minato, then you're free. Danzo sad face finally, this spineless idiot will give the Jinchuriki to me and I will be able to reprint it into myself. Inoichi, what is the Hokage-sama thinking? He seriously decided to give the Jinchuriki to this psychopath. Of course, I understand that the council will insist on this, but still. Minato looked at the clock, which was 12 p.m. and decided it was time to go home. He teleported home with Hiratian's help and saw children playing in the hall. Minato, I'm home. Menma, father, you're back, and will you train me in Miko tomorrow? Please, Menma inherited an aristocratic appearance from his father, and took after his mother in character. Miko was more reasonable, she inherited both the appearance and character of the young Minato, but with the inner core of Kushina. 2 weeks have passed. Minato, Danzo, how's the Jinchuriki search going? Danzo, during the memory sweep, we caught Chunin, who supposedly killed Jinchuriki. Minato, that is, presumably killed. Danzo, don't interrupt me. We think so, since he used the lightning element technique above C rank on Jinchuriki. Also, before that, he tortured Jinchuriki, and then threw him off a cliff. I sent my Umbu to the nearest villages to find his corpse, but to no avail. Minato, so we lost the village's weapons? Danzo, exactly. Minato, where is this Chunin? Danzo, in the punishment cell. Minato, he will be executed at dawn. You can be free. Minato was beside himself with rage, the village's weapons were lost and all because of some pathetic Chunin. Water Country Ao, Mizukage-sama. Mizukage, what is it? Ao, one of our Chunin teams, upon returning from a mission, found a child on the shore. Which is the vessel of the nine-tailed demon? Mizukage, what? Not that he was abducted from Konoha. Ao, it is not yet known. Now the child is in a terrible condition. Mizukage, that is, Ao, he has 3 scars on each cheek, presumably left by a red-hot kunai, as well as traces of lightning techniques. Because of this technique, his body is covered with scars, in the form of thin white lines all over his body. Mizukage, who could have committed such an atrocity? Ao, if you recall the reports about the village of List and the attitude towards Jinchuriki in it, I can assume that someone from the Konoha shinobi did it. Mizukage, and they also call us the Bloody Village. Ao, I will immediately send our shinobi to find out about the situation in Konoha. Mizukage, good. AO, where is the child now? AO, on the basis of the ANBU, under the supervision of 3 doctors with the rank of Chunin and 4 Hunins. Mizukage, who knows that this is a Jinchuriki boy? AO, only the team that found him and those who guard him. Mizukage, good. Order them to erase the memory of Jinchuriki, we can't take any chances. AO, that's right. Mizuka, I'll check on him tonight. AO, should I inform Umbu about your arrival? Mizukage, no, don't. It was almost 9:00 on the clock and I decided to check on the boy. I put the papers on the edge of the desk so that the secretary could pick them up. I left my office and went to the ANBU headquarters. After passing through security, I went to the lower level, where the boy was. When I entered his room, I saw that he was already conscious. He was a boy of 5 or 6 years old, with aristocratic features, but very emaciated and pale as death. There were really impressive scars on his cheeks, and his body was covered with white lines. As I understood, these are the consequences of the lightning technique. The only thing that gave him life was his long bright scarlet hair, as well as his purple eyes. They were like a dead fish. I sat down on a chair next to his bed and took the report on his condition in my hand. It was written in it that most likely, due to the huge shock, fear of death and pain shock, the boy had a nervous breakdown. As a result of which, he closed himself deep within himself. I sat and thought for about a minute. After that, I couldn't think of anything better than to put his head on my feet and start combing his long hair with a comb. At the same time, I began to hum to him a lullaby that I had heard in the orphanage. After a few seconds, I felt my dress begin to get wet, and small hands grabbed the edge of the dress. I stopped combing his hair and hugged him tightly. For my actions, the boy completely burst into tears and did not want to let me go, although I was not going anywhere. On behalf of Naruto, I felt no pain, no emotions, and my body seemed to be in prostration. So I sat until I felt my body falling, although no, he was put with his head on something soft. And after that I felt that someone was combing my hair. I could not see the face of this person, because there was a white veil in front of my eyes. After I heard the song, and it was very beautiful, this song plunged me into my memories, and I remembered how I spent my childhood alone, and how everyone despised me. But this song wasn't steeped in hate, just the opposite. This song was imbued with kindness and love. Because of this, I began to cry and feel my body a little again. I grabbed the edge of some fabric. After that, she stopped combing my hair and pressed me to her, from which I began to cry. Then my vision returned to me and I saw a sincere smile. Mizukage, hi kid. Naruto, hello, sob. Mizukage, my name is Mei Terumi, and you? Naruto, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. Mei, nice to meet you. Naruto, and me. Mei, tell me, Naruto, do you remember how you ended up here? From my words, he began to squeeze my dress even harder. Mei, if you don't have to tell me. Naruto, they tried to kill me. Mei, who? Naruto, sh. Shinobi, sob, of my village. I wanted to cry again, but Mei hugged me tightly. After a few minutes of hugging, I calmed down and was able to look at her better. Mei is a slender, beautiful, buxom woman. She has green eyes and, stretching to her knees, dark red herringbone-style hair on her back, tied with a blue stripe on top, as well as 2 curls and a branching bang in front, where one branch is on the side of one eye, and the second completely covers the other eye. And the long curls are between her neck and intersect on her chest, just under her chin, just below the collarbones. Mei wears a dark blue dress with long sleeves that falls just below the knees. The dress is fastened in front with a zipper and remains open on the front and right side from the waist down. The dress reaches to the upper part of the arms and the lower part of the chest. Under the dress, Mei wears a mesh shirt that covers more of her top than the dress, but does not reach to cover her shoulders and still leaves a significant cleavage. Mei also wears shorts of the same color as the dress, and underneath them mesh leggings running down the knees. Around her waist she wears a belt with a bag attached to the back on the left. Mei is wearing sandals with high heels, and knee-high shields are attached to the sandals. Her fingernails and toenails are painted dark blue, and she paints her lips with bright red lipstick. Naruto, and where am I? Mei, you are in Kirigakure no Sato or Hidden Mist Village. Naruto, that is, I am in the land of water. Mei, yes. Naruto, would you like to stay here? These words brought tears to my eyes again. Naruto, why are you so kind to me and don't look at me with eyes full of hatred and don't call me a demon? Mei, because, you're not a demon, you're an ordinary kid. Naruto, can I really stay here? Mei, yes, and I promise you that no one will offend you or call you a demon anymore. Konoha time 23.49 Danzo, Minato, we need to do something about this. Minato, what are you talking about, Danzo? Danzo, I'm talking about Jinchuriki. Minato, and what do you want? Danzo, I suggest action. I have two plans. Minato, and what are they? Danzo, first, we are looking for a three-tailed demon, in the territory of the land of water. We know that after the fourth Mizukage it was lost. Minato, what's the second one? Danzo, we use the technique of the second Hokage. Under the name of Edo Tensei, we will resurrect the Jinchuriki, after which we will pull out the remnants of the Biju chakra from it. Minato, there are a lot of flaws in your plans. Firstly, if our shinobi are caught on the territory of the country of water without their knowledge, it can be considered espionage and we will have to explain ourselves to the fog, and at best we will lose a third of our treasury or worse. The second plan is also full of flaws. What if those remnants of the chakra get out of control, and who said that the Shinigami will give us his soul? He is a purebred Uzumaki, and as you know, Shinigami is the patron of their clan. But despite all this, we will not last a year without Jinchuriki in the political arena. So, I give the go-ahead to your Umbu to search for the three-tailed demon, but they should not have any distinguishing marks on them. Danzo, well, that's natural. Info, in my story, the Uchiha clan is alive. And Danzo has only 6 Menjiko Sharingans, 1 in his eye and 5 on his arm. He does not have Menjiko Shursui, and Shursui himself works with Itachi in the Konoha military police. Kirigakure time 23.52 Mei, well, Naruto, will you come to live with me? Naruto, of course. Mei, okay, but first the doctors will examine you. Naruto, good. The chief physician, as I understand it, you cannot be persuaded. Therefore, I will say that at first he is likely to have nightmares, accompanied by large outbursts of chakra. Mei, how big are they, the head doctor? Considering that he is a Jinchuriki and Uzumaki, they are simply colossal. Mei, I see. Chief physician, so be careful. Mei, of course. In the next second, I called Umbu to me and ordered him to bring Ao. Ao, is something wrong, Mizukage-sama? Mei, no. But I want you to order the best seal masters to put the most powerful barrier hiding the chakra on my house Ao. But why? Mei, I'm going to take Naruto to my upbringing. Ao, Naruto? Mei, yes, that's the boy's name. Ao, Mizukage-sama, you understand that the council will not approve of this, and it is dangerous. Mei, let's tell the council that this is in order to tie him to the village. Ao, and if they want a bookmark? Mei, well, firstly, he is Uzumaki, so the bookmarks will not work 100% and will soon disappear, and secondly, the fox will not allow this to be done. The only thing that can affect his consciousness is Sharingan. AO, and if the council wants to reprint it? I'll remind them about the Utakata incident. Besides, he is from the Uzumaki clan, and as you know, no one can restrain Biju better than their clan. And the seal that stands on it is almost impossible to remove. The head doctor, the examination is over, Mizukage-sama, we did not find any serious injuries or complications. And also, as you have already understood, his scars cannot be removed. Naruto came out from behind him and headed in my direction. I squatted down and hugged him. Well, Naruto, let's go home, Naruto, of course. I looked at the clock that showed 0:43 a.m. Yes, we were delayed with you. Deciding that it was time for Naruto to go to bed, I picked him up in my arms and left the Umbu base and moved to my house. Naruto looked at me and at the village with eyes full of admiration and childish joy. Somewhere half a kilometer away, I felt that the sealing squad began to move away, they even worked very quickly. I went into the house and lowered Naruto to the floor. While I was taking off my shoes and closing the door, Naruto had already managed to go to study the house. I caught this tomboy in the kitchen. Come on Naruto, it's time for you to go to bed. Naruto, good. I didn't have time to prepare your room, so you're sleeping with me tonight. Naruto, well, okay. The expression on his face at that moment was simply indescribable. On the one hand there was understanding, on the other there was embarrassment and joy. Although, what could I expect from a child who lived in an oppressive atmosphere of hatred? I picked him up in my arms and carried him to the second floor. I decided not to embarrass him even more and lay down next to him. He tossed and turned for several minutes and could not sleep. But soon he either got used to it, or passed out from fatigue. I also slowly fell asleep, but about an hour later I woke up from unpleasant sensations. Looking at Naruto, I saw a red chakra with shades of blue coming out of him. Such a chakra could really scare, but only Chunin. It was getting bigger by the minute, and Naruto was suffering in a restless sleep. I decided not to wake him up, because if I woke him up abruptly, I could make it worse. Instead, I started humming to him the same lullaby as the last time. Slowly, the red chakra began to leave, but the blue chakra remained. As I understood it, this is his own chakra, and very dense since I could easily see it. I touched his chakra and saw the moment when he was walking down the main street, and looks full of hatred were looking at him. I abruptly pulled my hand away and everything was gone. It seems that his subconscious itself rejects these memories. I didn't know what to do, so I decided to just absorb this chakra. Last time, not only memories were transmitted to me, but also his chakra, which surprisingly quickly and very easily merged with mine. I put my hand on his forehead, where there was a cluster of this blue chakra. The next second I started seeing his memories, but his memories were coming from today. I saw the moment when I went into his room, then there was a moment when he was tortured by that shinobi and his face was decorated with a joyful grin, then I saw how he helped a girl from the Hugo clan and he was beaten by children, and after that he still got from the bodyguard watching her. All these memories flashed before my eyes and in my peripheral vision I saw another memory. He was sleeping peacefully when he felt an unpleasant smell and heat, his front door was on fire, and all the windows were locked. Naruto couldn't think of anything better than jumping out of the window and he did it, but only on the third attempt. Uzumaki barely managed to get up and immediately received a portion of contemptuous glances and loud curses. And some of his memories before that were as if told and I couldn't look through them. But I clearly understood that something terrible was hiding behind them. The last memory I saw was his birthday. I saw a red-haired woman and a fourth. May, how hard your life has been. In your own village, they hate you, your parents rejected you, and you can still smile. People would have the same willpower as you. I wanted to go to bed already, but I realized that it would not be possible to fall asleep so easily. I went down to the kitchen, where I drank 4 bowls of sake. It helped and I felt sleepy. When I came back I lay back down and Naruto snuggled up to me. On behalf of Naruto, I woke up in May's arms and it made me happy. Naruto, so it wasn't a dream after all. Carefully I got out of bed. It was about 7 o'clock on the clock. I went down to the kitchen and realized that I hadn't eaten since yesterday. I began to climb the shelves, opening the doors, in vain attempts to find food. But fortunately for me, I found rice grits in a cookbook. Looking into the refrigerator I found a small piece of chicken fillet there. I also found a curry seasoning and a couple of pieces of carrots, onions, potatoes and tomatoes, after which I started cooking. First I took the breast and cut it, then I took tomatoes, chopped onions, carrots, sprinkled olive oil on the pan, salted, peppered and started frying with the breast, then added potatoes. It was difficult for me to cook because I am small. So I brought a stool and it became much easier for me to cook. Then I started cooking rice, and now my first curry is ready. Gazing intently at the bottle of sake, I shuddered at the memories, but quickly nodded my head and continued to cook. I decided to add 1 bowl of sake to a serving of May, as it was written in the book that this would completely reveal the taste of curry. It took me about an hour and a half, but I was proud of myself. I tried the dish, it was delicious, but there was not enough salt. I did not dare to try a portion of May, but still decided to add a pinch of salt. I think it tastes just great now. On behalf of May, I woke up and didn't find Naruto next to me. May, damn. I jumped up from my seat and quickly began to descend. I looked around the first floor and saw a red-haired top in the kitchen. I breathed a sigh of relief. Naruto turned to me and smiled. Naruto, good morning. May, good morning. Naruto, May, aren't you Mizukage? May, well, yes. Naruto, aren't you late for work? I looked at the clock on which it was 8:38. May, damn, I ran into the bathroom to clean myself up. It took me 30 minutes. After changing clothes and going downstairs, I saw Naruto holding a bento box. Naruto, here, have a snack at work. May, where are you going? You're coming with me. Naruto, seriously? May, well, who am I going to leave you to? After work, we'll go and buy you some clothes. Naruto, good. I took Naruto by the shoulder and with the help of Shunshin carried us to the residence. On behalf of Naruto, we appeared in the office and I began to peer. I saw a large oak table on which 2 entities reign, cleanliness and order. Behind the desk is a solid, leather, office chair, probably the most comfortable chair in the whole village. Behind the table, on the wall opposite from the entrance, there is a huge floor-to-ceiling window, absolutely inaccessible from the outside. On the left side of the entrance there is a coffee table with a comfortable sofa and 1 armchair from an identical collection. On the right side there is a huge cabinet with countless books. Somewhere in this cabinet, by the way, a safe hidden from strangers is waiting in the wings. May, have a seat. Naruto. Tell me, do you like to read? Naruto, yes. May, and what exactly? Naruto, I like all the books. May, then what can I bring you to read? Naruto, can I have books about chakra and the history of Kirigakure no Sato? May, isn't it a little early? I made the sweetest and most begging expression I could. Naruto, please. May, oh, well, but you will behave calmly. Naruto, it's coming. On behalf of May, I created a water clone and sent it for books. While the clone was gone, I poured Naruto tea and sat him down on one of the sofas. As he promised, Uzumaki was very quiet and was reading a history book. Half an hour later, there was a knock on the door. "May, come in." "Ao, Mizukage-sama, here is the monthly report on the condition of the village." "May, thank you Ao." Village capital, 40 million total population, 8,000 people ordinary residents, 500 shinobi, 4,500 genins, 1,500 chunins, 1,000 ambu, 1,500 hunins, 500 village security, very high, available fortifications, high stone walls, a deep moat with water under the walls. Near camouflaged observation posts, distant observation towers, camouflaged near and distant ambush positions regular army, 2,000 shinobi, weekly income, 4 million weekly consumption, 2 million foreign policy, increasing the combat readiness of the army, preserving peace priority, preservation of peace, rearmament of the army, main trading partners, Konohagakure no Sato, Iwagakure no Sato, secondary trading partners, Kumogakure no Sato. May, we need to increase our trade relations with Iwagakure no Sato and Kumogakure no Sato. And also, we have to be careful with Konohagakure, because if they find out everything, we can't avoid a war. Ao, if they are the first to start a war, then we can safely attract Kumogakure and Iwagakure no Sato to it. May, well Ao, what about the council? Ao, they grumble, but I think we will win. May, well, as if you can be free. Naruto, May, can I ask you a question? May, of course. Naruto, why was Uzushio destroyed? May, all 5 hidden villages were afraid of her. Naruto, and that's it? May, you know, back in the time of Hashirama Senju, a few people from the Senju clan stole an Uzumaki woman. A few hours later, the Uzumaki men penetrated the leaf and slaughtered most of the men of the Senju clan. So then half of the village was destroyed, because they were prevented from leaving. And then only Hashirama was able to stop them, and after all, they were lucky that the girl was untouched. Naruto, but why did Willow, Kiri, and Kuma destroy Uzushio? May, you don't know everything Naruto. Naruto, and what don't I know? May, there were 4 villages involved in the attack on Uzushio. And the initiator was Konohagakure. Naruto, but after all, she was an ally of Uzushio. May, after that incident with the Senju clan, Leaf became afraid of his own allies. Naruto, but why is it not mentioned in the textbook? May, because according to the agreement of the 4 villages, this information will never be told or distributed. Naruto, so they destroyed Uzushio out of fear? May, you could say that. They removed the barriers of your clan, which is why Uzushio fell. Naruto, why are people so tough? On behalf of May, Naruto was sitting with a sad look and pondering my words. Naruto, tell me, was I hated in my village because I'm Uzumaki? May, when we get home, I'll tell you everything. Naruto, good. Can I ask about the Mist Swordsman? May, yes. Naruto, are they really comparable in strength to Kage? May, the first 7 Mist Swordsmen were indeed comparable in strength to Kage. And now they are comparable in strength to the strongest shinobi of other villages. Naruto, can you tell me about the 7 swords? May, Kobikuribocho, literally means, decapitating carving knife, a giant sword with the appearance of a butcher's knife, the owner of which can use a semicircle on the blade to chop off the enemy's head, from which the name. The sword has the ability to regenerate using iron absorbed from the blood of those it kills. He is also nicknamed the decapitating sword. Dantu, Samahata, literally means, shark skin, the most terrifying of the 7 swords. It has the appearance of a giant sword covered with shark scales. It is a sentient, living weapon that has the ability to devour the chakra. He is also nicknamed the Great Sword, Daitu, Hiramakari, a double-handled bandaged sword that can store and radiate the user's chakra, which can then take different forms. He is also nicknamed the Twin Sword, Sutu, Kiba, literally means fangs, paired swords imbued with lightning bolts that increase their cutting power. They were said to be the sharpest swords ever forged. They are also nicknamed Thunder Swords, Raitu, Kabutovari, literally means helmet cleaver, a sword consisting of a one-sided axe and a hammer connected by a long belt. It was said that he was able to destroy any defense. He is also nicknamed the Blunt Sword, Dantu, Nuabari, literally means sewing needle, a needle-shaped sword with a long, thin wire that resembles a thread attached to it. It can be used to pierce enemies and stitch them together into a human knot. He is also nicknamed the Long Sword, Chutu, Shibuki, literally means splash, a sword that holds a scroll filled with explosive seals that are lined up behind the blade, which allows you to combine swordsmanship and explosions. He is also nicknamed the Explosive Sword, Bakutu. Well, that's all. Naruto, cool. May, there is such a thing. Although, there was only one sword left in the fog, and that was Hiramakari. Naruto, where are all the other swords? May, and all the other swords were lost because their owners became apostates and left the village. Naruto, but why? May, you know, some were just too proud, and some because they were tired of feeling the eyes full of respect and fear. Naruto, and why were they looked at with fear? May, when there is a war and you shed the blood of your enemies, you are a hero, but after the war you become a monster. Naruto, why do people hate everyone who doesn't look like them? May, you answered your own question. People hate those who are not like them. People see that they are stronger and smarter than them, and therefore they are afraid. Naruto, people are too cruel. May, cruelty is one of the main traits of a person. It was 14:23 on the clock. On behalf of May, after our conversation with Naruto, he put down the history book and started reading a book about the chakra. At that time, I decided to try what Naruto had prepared for me. It was very tasty. I felt the taste of chicken breast and a pleasant taste of spices. Oh, how long it's been since I've enjoyed a homemade meal. This kid definitely has a talent for cooking. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed Naruto starting to take a meditation pose. May, Naruto? Naruto, yes? May, I'm going to finish my meal and leave for a couple of minutes, okay? Naruto, okay. Eventually, he took a comfortable pose and began to meditate. I got up quietly and went to AO's office. May, AO, I need you for a serious conversation. AO, that's right, Mizukage-sama. He put up a barrier against listening and sat down in his seat. May, this is about Naruto. AO, is something wrong? May, I wouldn't say. Tonight he had a chakra release, but this release was not ordinary. The chakra was so dense that I could see it, and when I touched it, I could see his memories. AO, this is very unexpected. May, and I've seen his life, from yesterday to the day he was born. AO, and what did you learn? May, Naruto is the son of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. AO, what? May, you don't have to be afraid. As I understood from his memories, his father hates him, and his mother doesn't seem to know about his existence at all. AO, that's how it is, May, but it's not even that bothers me so much as what the leaf will do next. AO, what are you talking about? May, they lost their Jinchuriki. Without him, they cannot survive in the political arena. AO, So you want to say that they will try to find a new Biju? May, I don't think they will go against other villages, and of the Biju that doesn't belong to any village, there is only a three-tailed one. Ao, so they will send shinobi to our territory to find the three-tailed one and seal it into a new Jinchuriki? May, exactly, that's why we have to find him before them and catch them by the hand. Thus, we will be able to knock out a round sum from them, and if they refuse to pay it, then we will be able to calmly bring this topic to the Kage Council. And then it will not be good for them. Ao, then I will send the best censors to search for him. May, I'm waiting for the results in the next few days. Well, I managed to start playing a race against time. When I returned to my office, I saw Naruto still meditating. He didn't even react to my arrival. I sat down in my seat and started doing paperwork. Occasionally my secretary came in and took the papers. Time 21:57 I finished my chores and looked at Naruto, who was already peacefully lying and resting after meditation. May, well, let's go eat? Naruto, yes, his stomach rumbled in confirmation of his words. May, but first let's buy you some clothes. We went into a store on the main street, where we were met by the owner of this store of advanced years. Host, hello, Mizukage-sama, my name is Chu and I am the owner of this store. May, could you pick up something on this boy? Chu, and why can't you come with me, young man? While they were picking up his clothes, I noticed a crimson kimono with fancy patterns on the sleeves of gold color and with a black belt. Chu, and you have good taste, Mizukage-sama. I looked at Chu and saw Naruto behind him. He was wearing standard shinobi sandals slightly above the ankles, dark trousers, a white t-shirt and a dark blue jacket. May, and it suits you very well. Naruto, do you really think so? May, yes. Thank you Chu-sama. Chu, you're welcome, Mizukage-sama. May, could you show me that purple kimono? Chu, and you have good taste, this kimono was made in the likeness of traditional Uzushio clothing. May, how do you like Naruto? Naruto, very beautiful. May, then we'll take it, how much is Chu-sama from us? Chu, you don't need anything, consider it a gift, have a good day Mizukage-sama, and you are a young man. Naruto, thank you. A couple of minutes before that. On behalf of Naruto, Chu, what kind of clothes do you prefer, young man? Chu, maybe there are any preferences? Naruto, convenient for training. Chu, good. I noticed Chu's gaze on me, he was looking at my cheeks and at my body as a whole. Naruto, I wonder who I am so, Chu, yes. I haven't seen such an atrocity since the war. Naruto, well, this has its advantages. Chu, and what kind? Naruto, thanks to this, I got into the fog and met, May he grinned a little and smiled at me. Chu, then I will hope that everything will be fine with you from now on, young man. Naruto, thank you, old man Chu, you're welcome. How do you like the clothes? Naruto, fine. Chu, well, then let's go show ourselves. On behalf of May, thank you so much. Chu, come again. May, well, now let's go eat. Naruto, yes. May, what do you want? Naruto, do you have a ramen in your village? May, I know a restaurant that serves good ramen. Naruto, great. Time 22:39 We went into the restaurant and sat down at the last table. Waitress, what do you want to order? Naruto, I'll have pork ramen. May, me too. Waitress, okay, wait. A few minutes later we received our order. Naruto ate so hard that I decided to order a couple more servings. Naruto, thanks for the treat. May, it seems like you're so small, and you've eaten more than some grown men. Naruto, when the food is delicious, it's hard to stop. On the way home, we went to the store and bought groceries. According to Naruto, a mouse hanged itself in my refrigerator. Well, if you live at work, you definitely won't eat at home. When we got home, we took off our shoes, Naruto took the groceries to the kitchen, and I sat down on the sofa in the hall. When he finished putting out the groceries in the kitchen, Jinchuriki sat down on the chair opposite me and looked at me with a serious look. Naruto, you promised to tell me why they hate me in my village. May, can you sit next to me? He came over and sat next to me on the sofa. May, tell me, do you know the history of your village? Naruto, yes. May, then you know about the attack of the nine-tailed fox on Konoha. Naruto, yes. May, and what happened that day? Naruto, the third Hokage saved the village by taking the fox with him to the world of the dead, for which he paid with his soul. May, do you really think Leaf has lost his Biju? Naruto, May, they sealed Biju into you. Naruto, that is, I am Jinchuriki? May, yes. Naruto, then it's clear that they hate me because of me. May, yes, unfortunately. Naruto, why haven't I ever met a fox? May, most likely, the seal restrains the fox and does not allow him to pull you into the subconscious, up to a certain age. Naruto, that is, they hate me only because of the fox inside. May, yes. Naruto, I hate Konoha. I hugged Naruto tightly and started stroking his head. May, don't. Hatred will lead you to nothing, it will devour you from the inside. Naruto, but Konoha, she took everything from me. May, I understand how you feel right now. During the war, I lost my parents and lived as an orphan all alone, but I did not let hatred consume me. I set myself a goal and went to it. Naruto, then I want to always be with you and protect you. May, well, in order for you to protect me, you need to become stronger than me. Naruto, and I will. I will surpass you and protect you. May, shall we go to bed? Naruto, good. May, you're going to sleep with me tonight. Naruto, okay. On behalf of May, he doesn't even resist. And I understand him, if he was alone, he would definitely break down. To think that this child is only 5 years old, and he has experienced so much that not every person will survive in 20 years. And the most important thing is that he remained the same cheerful and cheerful. He clung to me tightly, not wanting to let me go, as if his life depended on it. After about half an hour he was able to fall asleep, but even in his sleep he wouldn't let me out. After another 2 hours, I woke up from a large concentration of chakra in the room. But to my surprise, the chakra didn't press on me, it didn't seem to notice me. To some extent, it was like a barrier. If now he can subconsciously control his chakra without even awakening his hearth, then what will he be able to do in a few years? But even considering this, the concentration was so great that it seemed to me the house would collapse, but at one point the chakra stopped coming out of it and stopped. But because of the barrier hiding the chakra, she could not disappear without a trace and she began to look for a vessel for herself. And she found it in my face. For the first seconds, while his chakra penetrated me, I felt discomfort and unpleasant sensations, but then they were replaced by a feeling of peace and lightness. When it was all over, I felt tired and fell asleep. On behalf of Naruto, time 6.00 I woke up in the arms of May, from what I felt warm in my soul. I carefully got out of bed so as not to wake her up. I went down to the kitchen and got into the refrigerator. I decided to cook onigiri with chicken and replace mayonnaise with hollandaise, since mayonnaise is more caloric. And mochi for dessert. First I washed the rice and put it to cook for 40 minutes, then boiled the chicken breast and finely chopped. Then he began to make a prosthesis. First, I took a piece of butter and cut it into 3 parts, 1 large and 2 small. Then he separated the whites from the yolks and began to beat the yolks for 1 minute until they thickened. After adding water, salt and lemon, then mix for another minute and a half. Next, we put a piece of butter and immediately put it in a water bath, and heat it up to 60 degrees. The most important thing is not to overheat, otherwise the yolk may curdle earlier than necessary and lumps will form. Then stir for 2 minutes until the sauce becomes creamy, remove from the water bath and add a second, small piece of butter, and drive it into the yolks. And in the end, we begin to slowly pour in the melted butter. The white precipitate formed at the bottom of the saucepan does not need to be poured in. The cream should become thick, like heavy cream. The sauce is ready. Season with salt and pepper and add lemon juice to taste. The sauce is served warm. So that the sauce does not cool down, it may well stand for an hour, not far from the included stove. If the sauce is too thick, it can be diluted with 1 to 2 tablespoons of hot water, broth, milk or cream. We continue to make onigiri. Take the breast and mix it with also finely chopped, sweet pepper and hollandaise. We take the rice that has not yet had time to cool down and begin to sculpt onigiri. We take the rice and put it on the palm of your hand, then add the filling 3 times smaller than the rice itself in area, so that everything is well molded. First, we form a circle of rice with stuffing inside, then flatten the edges to make a triangle, then cut a strip 2.5 to 3 centimeters wide from a sheet of dried nori algae, stick it to the onigiri, it will easily stick to the rice. It will be convenient to hold onigiri for her. And now the onigiri are ready. One request, dear readers, do not kill me. Mochi is cooked very steamy and I don't know how he was able to cook them in 1 hour 20 minutes. And how, at the same time, he didn't wake May up. In general, do not punish too severely. And yes, now I will tell you how mochi is prepared on behalf of the narrator, and not on behalf of Naruto. Polished, sticky rice is soaked overnight and boiled, or steamed. Boiled rice is pounded with a wooden hammer in a traditional mortar. 2 people are engaged in this process, alternately replacing each other. One of them pushes the mochi, and the second interferes and moistens it. They work in a very clear constant rhythm, otherwise, one of them may injure the other with a heavy hammer. After that, a viscous dough-like mass is given some form, spherical or cubic, or cakes are formed from it. They are grilled or boiled. On behalf of May, I woke up from a rumble in the kitchen. It was 7:53 on the clock. I've already accepted that I was late for work again. I got up and made the bed, then went down to the kitchen and saw Naruto, who was diligently tying boxes with bento. May, and what did you cook this time? Naruto, onigiri with chicken and hollandaise sauce, and mochi. May, and how do you manage everything? Naruto, I'm trying. May, okay, we should get ready. Naruto, I've already put your clothes in the bathroom and hung up a towel. May, when did you do that? Naruto, while the chicken and rice were being boiled. May, okay, I'll be ready in 20 minutes. The girl went up to the 2nd floor and went into her room to take underwear. As I thought, Naruto only put his outer clothes on. 20 minutes later I was ready and saw a bored guy in the kitchen. May, are you ready? Naruto, yes, I took him by the shoulder and with Shunshin's help we moved to the residence. May, are you going to try to awaken the chakra again today? Naruto, yes. May, well, good luck then, I need to leave for a couple of minutes. I left my office and went to the medical building. Doctor, hello, Mizukage-sama, did you want something? May, yes, I would like to undergo a full examination and check how many chakras I have now, compared to past indicators. Doctor, good that I in half an hour. Chief Physician, there are no significant changes in the body, only for unknown reasons, muscle fibers tear and immediately turn into pink fibers. The chakra in your body immediately splices the fibers, so you don't feel anything. As for the SCC, the chakra circulation system, your chakra has become denser and its reserves have increased by 1.5 times. This is surprising, because the HSC ceases to grow after 20 years, and to achieve your results, you need to spend at least more than a year on meditation alone. May, I wonder, the chief physician, it's incredible, Mizukage-sama, how could you achieve such a result in such a time? May, I don't know myself. I got out and headed back to the residence. It seems that all those surpluses of chakra that are in Naruto have somehow been absorbed by me. But there are no changes in my CCF system. So his chakra has adjusted to me, so my chakra reserves have increased. And my physical condition, it seems because of his chakra, my body began to transform. I only noticed, but my physical indicators have increased, as well as the bags under my eyes have disappeared and my hair has become more lush and more saturated in color. It seems that even on a subconscious level he is trying to protect me and help me. Otherwise I can't explain that barrier and my rejuvenation. I spent the whole way to the residence in such thoughts. When I entered the office, I saw Naruto, who was diligently trying to awaken his hearth. I had no time to sit down in my chair when AO came in and handed me a report. In short, it was written there that the three-tailed was discovered, as well as that Konoha were allegedly spotted on the border of the water country. May, everything is going great. AO, quite, Mizukage-sama. May, at this rate, we'll be able to extract a nice sum from them, or even better, a couple of secret techniques. AO, allow me to send out the best units for surveillance, murder and capture of the target. May, of course, we should never miss this opportunity. AO, how much does your Byakugan see? AO, 10 kilometers. May, then I want you to go with them, but not to join the battle. You just have to find them and give the command to the AO, that's right. Yeah, it's just the beginning of the day, and there's already so much information. There are also these anomalies with Naruto's chakra. Konoha time 14.22 Danzo, Minato, my people have found the three-tailed one. Minato, it remains only to find Jinchuriki. Danzo, I will become one. Minato, no. You re-old and you re-missing an eye and part of an arm, and the village doesn't need a weak Jinchuriki. I only agreed to give you the Jinchuriki to raise. Danzo, don't underestimate me, puppy. Minato, I don't want to feud with you. I agree to give Jinchuriki to you for upbringing, but there's no way I can seal it in you. Danzo, okay, I agree, but who will become a Jinchuriki? Minato, I don't know. Danzo, I propose to make Jinchuriki one of your children. Minato, no way. They must continue the race, and with a demon inside, you can forget about my genes. Danzo, then who will you suggest? Minato, I don't know, but I won't give up my children. Danzo, it's a pity that your wife is no longer fit for sealing. Minato, this is true. I think you'll have to resort to Orochimaru's help. There should be at least one Uzumaki among his test subjects. Danzo, I agree with that. Minato, then, I entrust the negotiations and his finding to you. Danzo, and why does everything fall on my shoulders again? Minato, we both know that you have more powers and connections in the shadow world. Water Country Time 15.02, on behalf of May, during this not so long day, I learned too much. Firstly, Naruto's chakra resonates with mine. Secondly, Konokovtsi are already hanging around on our territory. Thirdly, there is also this incessant paperwork. Because of all these thoughts and worries that something might go wrong, I had an appetite. I opened my bento and saw there a couple of onigiri with chicken and mochi. Onigiri with chicken had a richer taste, due to the fact that Naruto replaced mayonnaise with hollandaise. Although how should I know, I've been in my kitchen 3 times. The first one when I just bought a house, the second one when I was doing repairs, and the third time when Naruto made curry. When I ate all the onigiri, I felt full. And most importantly, they were practically dietary. After the onigiri, I began to devour the mochi with pleasure. And along the way I was thinking about the current situation. And suddenly it dawned on me. Naruto. Naruto, huh? What? Can you lift the shirt? He looked at me with a mute question in his eyes. I want to help you wake up the hearth. Naruto, good. He lifted his t-shirt and I filled my index and middle fingers with chakra, touched his body. And 3 seconds later, his system started working, and the chakra gushed through his body in a sharp stream, from which the boy writhed. Everything will be fine, Naruto, be patient a little. He grinned in my face through the pain, and said the following. Naruto, it doesn't hurt any more than the stripes on my cheeks that I have. On behalf of I put him on the couch and pulled up his t-shirt. His small body and an undeveloped SCC system could not withstand such large volumes of chakra. Just be patient for a minute. Naruto, yes, at least 2. That's nice, it's going to hurt a little. Printing 5 elements. He was lying on the couch with his teeth clenched and waiting for me to finish the technique. When I finished, he was sprawled blissfully on the couch. How are you, Naruto? Fine. It's good. You need a snack. I took his bento and gave him onigiri. With a blissful face, he was eating his own cooking. Naruto, and what kind of seal did you put on me? The seal of the 5 elements. It is used to seal the chakra, or to disrupt the work of the SCC. But the seal that I put on you removes the extra chakra from you, so as not to injure your chakra channels. So far, your channels need to get used to at least the amount of chakra that is circulating right now. I sat down in my chair and looked at Naruto, who was already finishing his bento. After a couple of minutes, the headache started to go away and I relaxed. Half an hour later, I decided to go back to work. Looking at Naruto, he was already fast asleep. About 20 minutes later, the door opened and the secretary came into the office, and froze in place. Secretary, I'll come by later. And she stormed out of my office. Strange, what happened to her? In my thoughts, I sat for about 10 minutes until it dawned on me. Naruto's chakra is completely identical to mine, which is why my body absorbed his chakra and that's why the secretary ran away from the office. His chakra surpluses were now soaked through the entire office, and since his chakra is completely identical to mine, she thought it was my bloodlust. And that's why I feel so good and my headache has gone away. I'm slowly absorbing the excess of his chakra, but I can't be 100% sure about it. I started rummaging in my desk and found a couple of sheets of chakra, conducting paper. I got up from the chair and walked over to Naruto. I shook him slightly, which woke him up. Naruto, get up. Naruto, what is it? Can you do something, Naruto? Okay, why? Take these leaves and run your chakra over them. Naruto, and how? You've seen the pictures of the SCC system, haven't you? Naruto, yes. Imagine her in your body and then imagine as if the chakra is the blood that flows through your veins and gets into the leaves. Naruto, okay, I'll try. I gave Naruto 6 leaves. The first burned, the second got wet, the third crumpled, the fourth rotted, the fifth got wet first, after which it began to emit steam, and the sixth first turned into an earth crust and began to melt. May, just as I thought. Naruto, what does it mean? May, this means that you are the owner of 4 elements and 2 improved genomes. Naruto, what? May, so it is, you are the owner of the elements of fire, water, lightning and earth, as well as the elements of steam release and the element of lava release. Naruto, it's really cool. May, it is. And I'll teach you how to use them. Naruto, seriously, May, yes. Naruto, you're the best yourself. Naruto jumped up from the sofa and hugged me. May, but first I'll teach you the basics. Naruto, of course. I looked at the clock on which it was 17:48. May, wouldn't you like to go to training right now? Naruto, of course. May, well, that's nice. I created a water clone and left him to deal with paperwork. We set off through the foggy streets towards my personal training ground. For all the time that Naruto was here, he had never seen fog before. He walked, looking with interest at the vague silhouettes in the fog. 5 minutes later we were at my personal training ground. May, well, let's start with the warm-up. Naruto, yes. May, then 2 laps, 20 squats, 20 push-ups and 20 abs. Naruto, that's right. He ran 2 laps quite calmly, after which he started doing push-ups. After push-ups, he, already exhausted, began to do the press and then, with the last of his strength, began to do squats. He did it in 10 minutes and plopped down on the wet grass. May, not bad. Naruto, thank you. May, and now the chakra control training. Take a leaf from the tree and try to hold it on your forehead with the help of the chakra. Naruto, okay, I'll try. For the first few minutes he tried to find the right amount of chakra. The first attempts were unsuccessful. At first the leaves just fell off, not even thinking to linger on his forehead. After he used more chakra, the leaves began to tear apart. And so, in trying to find the right amount of chakra, he spent about half an hour. May, not bad. Do you want to continue, or let's go home, Naruto, more? May, well, look, you made that choice yourself. Then, do another approach of physical exercises and again, we will train your chakra control. Naruto slowly got up and began to perform physical exercises. This time they took 2 times longer. May, now take 2 leaves and try to keep them on your forehead. After 1 hour, Naruto could calmly hold 2 leaves on his forehead. He collapsed on the cool grass. Time 19:59. May, well, are you hungry? Before he could answer, his stomach began to rumble. Naruto, very. May, well, then let's go to a restaurant and order ramen. Naruto, yes, when I came to the restaurant, I ordered myself a large portion of ramen with shrimp, and Naruto ordered 3 large portions of ramen with pork. I can't even say that he ate this ramen, rather I can say that he devours it. This seemingly small boy eats ramen at such a speed that I still wonder how he gets into it. May, are you full, Naruto? Yes. May, then let's go home. Naruto, yeah, after going home, we took off our shoes and I sent Naruto to the bathroom, after giving him a towel and a change of clothes. While he was washing, I sent the clone to get a book with the basic techniques of the academy. When Naruto came out of the bathroom, I handed him a book with the basic techniques of the academy. May, take it, Naruto is a book with the basic techniques of the academy, as well, there are the basics of anatomy and the art of interrogation. Naruto, thank you very much. May, you're welcome. By the way, tomorrow after 5 o'clock you will have training again, so let's go to bed. Naruto and I went to bed, and after about 10 minutes he fell asleep, while hugging me tightly. I still can't understand why I liked this boy so much. Maybe it's because he's so cheerful, even after what happened to him, or maybe because his chakra has become identical to mine. But the question that torments me is why his chakra has become identical to mine. Perhaps I will never know the answer to this question. On behalf of Naruto, I got up before May again. I got up slowly and went to the kitchen. After opening the refrigerator, I decided to cook tempura shrimp. We make a longitudinal incision on the back of the shrimp. We take out the gut with waste products. We turn the shrimp on its back and make transverse incisions on its stomach every 1 centimeter so that it stops twisting inward. We turn it over again and onto the back, and where there is already a longitudinal incision, we make transversely diagonal incisions there, too, every 1 centimeter. The main thing is not to cut in half. We connect 3 fingers of one hand, as if you are crossing yourself and pressing on the transversely diagonal incisions, trying to put your fingers into the incisions and slightly press, as if flattening the place of the incision. At a time, press on 2 incisions with both hands, then the next 2, very carefully. You will hear how weak tissues are torn, on those that are stronger, and the shrimp meat will hold. We throw ice cubes into the water, and while they melt, cooling the water, roll the shrimp in flour. In cold water with ice, add flour, stirring slightly. Important, do not stir thoroughly and do not beat in any case. Sometimes an egg is also added to the water, but, in my opinion, it will only make the batter heavier, especially in such a ratio of water and flour. So, we mix the batter slightly. I use chopsticks, until the consistency of the dough for liquid pancakes. We lower the shrimp into the batter for a couple of minutes so that the tails stick out and you can get them, let them cool down. At this time, we put the wok on the fire and heat the oil. Check if the oil is hot. I'm frying over low heat in an aluminum wok. We drip the batter into the butter. Droplets halfway to the bottom begin to pop up and hiss. This is what you need. We pull out the shrimp by the tail and in 2 seconds dipped in breadcrumbs and dipped in butter. Fry 2 or 3 at the same time. Provided that the shrimp is completely in oil, fry for 40 seconds until golden brown. During this time, due to the temperature difference, we will get an excellent crispy crust and the oil will not be absorbed into the shrimp itself. When I finished with the shrimp, I poured some soy sauce into a special jar and closed it, then packed it all. I heard footsteps on the stairs and realized that May had already woken up. When she went into the kitchen, she was already dressed and ready to go. May, did you cook something delicious again? Naruto, of course. Give me 2 minutes and I'll be ready to go out. May, okay. When May moved us to the residence, I started reading the book that May gave me yesterday. There were 3 chapters. Chapter 1, Basic Techniques of Taijutsu, Kenjutsu, Ninjutsu, Bokujutsu and Tactics of Combat. Chapter 2, Human Structure and its Weak Points. Chapter 3, Psychology and the Art of Interrogation. I decided to postpone reading the first chapter, since we will go through all this in training with May. And I started reading the second chapter. In this chapter there were pictures with the structure of a person, where all 361 tenketsu were indicated. Also, all acupuncture points were indicated there, of which on average from 700 to 800. But on average, only 150 stand out, of which 2 to 10 acupuncture points are used in the shinobi profession. Then came the most vulnerable and effective places to strike. 1. The ankle joint, lifting, of the foot. 2. Lower leg, bone. 3. Knee joint. 4. Perineum, genitals. 5. Lower abdomen, pubic area. 6. Solar nervous plexus, sun. 7. Cardiac nervous plexus, heart. 8. Interclavicular cavity, fossa. 9. throat, Adam's apple, 10, chin, center of lower jaw, 11, ribs, liver and spleen, 12, hypochondrium 13, collarbone 14, side of the neck 15, upper lip, philtrum, or nasolabial fold, 16, the base of the nose 17, bridge of the nose, middle of the back of the nose, 18. Eye 19, the temple 20, AR 21, occiput, base of the skull, 22, neck back 23, 24, 25, the hollow between the shoulder blades, the loin and the central part of the back 26, kidney 27, elbow 28, armpit, 29, shoulder joint 30. Fingers of the BRUSH. The death points were also indicated there. The presentation of the material, for the convenience of perception, is offered according to a certain scheme. 1. The location area of the point. 2. Appropriate acupuncture point. 3. Time of day to influence a particular point. 4. Underlying tissues, soft tissues, vessels and nerves, bone and joint system. 5. The effect. 6. Methods and direction of attack. There were only 15 death points and some of them were already listed in the previous list. 1 inch temple 2, bridge of the nose 3, eyes 4, lower jaw 5, Adam's apple 6, elbow joint 7, solar plexus 8, heart area 9, belly 10, kidneys 11, kneecap etc. I also decided to read a small part of chapter 3. Human weaknesses and methods of influence. There are no weaknesses that would not be used for covert management of people. Fears, insecurities, shortcomings and stereotypes are inherent in every person. Of course, they should be worked with and fought. After all, they often interfere with a full life, and very often become a tool of manipulation in the hands of other people. The art of manipulation is not only about knowing the weak points. It is very important to know that any skill requires working out. One theory of manipulation should not be guided, practice is necessary. Practically no human skill comes from nowhere. Each person has his own individual psyche. If some methods work for one, there is no guarantee that they will work for the other. Their knowledge and skills should be applied to people with extreme caution. You can influence a person only if he is located in relation to you. Before convincing a person of anything, it is necessary to find out the maximum amount of information about him. For example, the place of work or study and personal qualities. To manage people, you need to be absolutely confident in your words. This book is very interesting and useful for beginner shinobi. It has almost everything you need to become a chunin. On behalf of May, Naruto read with interest the book that I gave him, and for good reason. After all, it was an expanded edition for the academy, then still the village of blood mist. According to this little book, I also studied at one time. Konoha Danzo, Orochimaru has a decent option for the role of Jinchuriki. Minato, and who is it? Danzo, this is Karen Uzumaki. Minato, how old is she? Danzo, 5 years old, she's practically the perfect vessel for Biju. Minato, and what does he want for her? Danzo, he wants to be acquitted and crossed out of the bingo book. Minato, what? Danzo, he predicted that you would refuse and offered the second option. Minato, and what is it? Danzo, he wants Sharingan. Minato sat with clenched teeth and thought. Minato, I'll send someone from the Uchiha on a false mission, and your people will have to deal with him. Danzo, are you shoving all the dirty work on me again? Minato, well, it's not for me to send Amba to kill him. Danzo, that's what I understand. Hokage, who can't trust his Umbu. Minato, Danzo. Danzo, calm down, I'll do everything. Danzo left the Hokage's office. You old bitch, you going to pay for everything. If it wasn't for your root, you would have been feeding yourself worms a long time ago. Kirigakure Mei, well, Naruto, are you ready to go to training? Naruto, yes, Mei, then go ahead. On behalf of Mei, and so at first, 3 laps, 25 push-ups, squats and abs. Naruto, okay, Naruto coped with this load in 50 minutes and I gave him 10 minutes. May, not bad, and now let's start controlling the chakra. Take 2 leaves and put them on your palms, then use the chakra to start chasing them around your body. Naruto, can you show me May? Of course I put the piece of paper in my palm and then moved it to my forehead with simple manipulations. Naruto looked at it with bulging eyes, but then began to try to repeat what he saw. As I expected, it took him about 2 hours. He was very tired and after I announced the end of training, he fell on the grass without strength. May, you're doing great Naruto. Thank you May. Well, let's have a snack Naruto. Yes, the snack took us 15 minutes, after which we went to the residence. My water clone was working hard, you could tell by the huge stacks of papers on the table. No sooner had I sat down in my seat than Umbu broke into my office. May, what does it mean? Umbu, they came for the 3-tailed May. What's going on there Umbu? 2 wounded, 3 killed, and 3 prisoners taken May. I'll be right there Umbu. That's right May. Naruto, can you sit here until I get back Naruto? Good. But do you have any technique May? The little blackmailer is coming. Umbu base in fog. Oh, Mizukage-sama, we were able to capture only 3, the rest self-destructed May. Okay, you've already interrogated them AO. We tried to interrogate one of them, but when we got into his mind, he and the interrogator died. May, have you tried to remove these seals AO? This is not possible. They have several dozen bookmarks all over their body, and also, as we understood, the main one is on their tongue. May, I see. But it's still enough to blackmail Konoha. Send them a message that we've caught their spies, and as for the prisoners, make sure they can lift a finger. Ao, that's right Mizukage residence May, and here I am Naruto. Well, what's so serious May? Secret Naruto. Well, that's fine. But I will get a scroll with the technique. I went to my desk and took out a scroll Naruto. And what is May there? The technique of healing water jellyfish Naruto. Oh, and I thought it was an attacking technique May. This technique may someday save your life Naruto. Also true May. With your chakra control, you'll have to learn it quickly. And now I have to work hard Naruto. Maybe I'll go home and cook something then May. Well, there's no one I won't let you go Naruto, but I'm not a little kid. I've been taking care of myself since I was a kid. I crouched down in front of him May. It was in a leaf and now you're in a fog Naruto. But May, no buts. I can let you go, but only as an escort Naruto. Please not Umbu, they give me goosebumps May. Then you'll understand home with my secretary Naruto. Well, it's still better than with Umbu May. That's nice then she'll look after you. Mirai come in Mirai. Yes Mizukage-sama May. Could you take Naruto home and watch him Mirai? Of course May. That's nice Naruto. Well then let's go Mirai. Okay, just a minute May. Have a good time. On behalf of Mirai, we walked down the street with him in complete silence until he asked about my hobbies. Mirai, well, in general, I like to embroider. And what do you like? Naruto, train and cook Mirai. Naruto, and why do you live with Mizukage-sama Naruto? Well, you can say she sheltered me Mirai. I'm sorry for this question, it's probably unpleasant for you Naruto. No, it's fine. I can also say that I have been an orphan since birth, and the stripes on my cheeks are a gift from the residents of my village Mirai. But for what? Naruto, a long story. We walked up to Mizukage's house and Naruto took the key out from under the mat Mirai. Aren't you afraid to leave it there Naruto? Well, I don't think there is such a fool that will climb into the house to Mizukage Mirai. Also true, on behalf of Naruto, Mirai was a beautiful brown-haired girl, 17 years old in appearance. Naruto, aren't you hungry Mirai? Not really Naruto, okay. I went to the kitchen and started looking for a cookbook and found in it an interesting recipe for fanchozo with shrimp. I started to read it, cut the vegetables into strips, put them in a frying pan with vegetable oil and 2 to 3 minutes. Fry, add the peeled ready-made shrimp, put out for 1 minute, add garlic, onion feathers passed through the press, sprinkle with sesame oil, soy sauce, add fanchoza, stir and put out for a minute, sprinkle with sesame seeds and chopped parsley before serving. Serve fanchoza with shrimp hot or cold. Well, there is nothing complicated. I picked up the knife, but immediately felt that it was taken away from me. Mirai, a knife is not a toy for children. Naruto, can you give me the knife? I'll cook. Mirai, no. What if you cut yourself? Naruto, I learned how to hunt rabbits and carve it at the age of 4, and you, afraid that I might cut myself while I'm cutting vegetables. Mirai, yes, you're still a child. I took the second knife, but she took it from me, too. Naruto, can you also take all the knives from me and hide them? Mirai, she took all the knives and carried them into the hall. How gullible she is. I took a kitchen knife out of the inner drawer of the table and started cooking. When she came back, I had already cut everything and started cooking. Mirai, where did you get the knife? Naruto, I've been living in this house longer than you and you think you know everything? Mirai, let me help you at least. Naruto, don't do it myself. Mirai, but after all. Naruto, just sit down and wait until I finish cooking. Mirai, good. 25 minutes later I finished cooking and served her portion. Mirai, thanks. Naruto, you're welcome. I looked at my watch and realized that May should be back soon. I went to the second floor to put a change of clothes in the bathroom. Mirai, where are you going? Naruto, I'll be right back. I took her change of clothes and left her in the bathroom, then went down to the first floor where Mirai was eating quietly and started cleaning. Mirai, you need help? Naruto, no. Mirai, well, maybe I at least. Naruto, no. I can take care of myself and I'm quite independent. I've been through a lot more than you can imagine, so stop comparing me to ordinary children. Mirai, good. Naruto, well, that's nice. May, I'm home. Naruto, hello. Mirai, hello. Mizukage-sama. May, so how did you spend your time? Naruto, quite good. Mirai, good. May, well, that's nice. Naruto, I'm going to learn the scroll. May, well, tomorrow we will check for training how you have learned the knowledge. On behalf of May, Mirai was looking at Naruto's trail strangely and I decided to ask what happened. May, something happened. Mirai, not really, just May, what? Mirai, why is Naruto so serious and detached? May, he had a difficult childhood. If you had parents as a child, then he lived completely alone. Although it's more survival than life. Mirai, and that's why he's like May. Not only he's not very trusting of people. Mirai, but after all, I saw him calmly talking to Ao. May herself. He just sees that Ao is my devoted advisor and he will never betray me. As I understood, Naruto is an empath. Mirai, considering all that you have just said, I'm afraid to imagine what he went through. May, too much for his years. Mirai, I think I'll go. Goodbye. Mizukage-sama. Konoha, on behalf of Minato, Umbu, Minato-sama has a message for you from the fog. Minato, you can be free. I unfolded the message and began to read. Good afternoon Hokage-sama, your country's Umbu were caught in Kirigakure territory this afternoon. And they attacked the three-tailed demon. Of course, I am sure that you have something to say to me about this. Minato. Bear quickly to me. Danzo. Hell, now we not only won't get a three-tailed one, but we won't wash off this shit either. Danzo, what do you want? Minato, your plan failed, and your people failed. Danzo, it can't be. Minato, they have 3 prisoners. Danzo, there was an ambush there, my people couldn't have lost otherwise. Minato, I don't care. You understand that we are completely fucked up. If we can make amends to Kirigakure, then they can gather a council and then we won't live. Danzo, calm down, boy. If they want money, then our treasury will be able to incur losses. It is scarier only if they demand clan children. Minato, you're kidding me. Do you even understand how much money we are talking about? But the village will be in decline. Danzo, but at least she will be. Minato, and what about that girl Uzumaki who gave us Orochimaru? Danzo, she is quite healthy and she would be a wonderful Jinchuriki if we could seal a 3-tailed one into her. Minato, what about the Uchiha? Danzo, the Uchiha are starting to dig too deep. It's time to do something. Konoha. Minato, and what are you going to do? Do you even realize that Uchiha make up a large part of Konoha's strike force? Danzo, I understand that, but you should also understand that if the Uchiha get to the truth and organize an uprising, then the village will come to an end. Minato, you should also understand without Jinchuriki and Uchi, our village is nothing more than a minor hindrance to other countries. Danzo, there is a very simple way out of this situation. You have to give your daughter in marriage to the son of the head of the Uchi clan. Minato, are you kidding me? I will not allow my daughter to be a bargaining chip. Danzo, and you didn't think so about your third child. Minato, don't you dare compare my daughter and that trash. Danzo, and what will you offer? Minato, all the material that you have on Uchi must be destroyed. If they find anything, it will be the end of everything. Danzo, brat, do you even understand what you're demanding? Minato, it's not all the same. You'll have to kill all your Anbu that are somehow involved in the attack on the Uchiha or something like that. If they can't find the papers, then they won't have anything to show. Danzo, do you even understand what you're demanding? Minato, these are necessary sacrifices. Besides, consider it a punishment for Missy's failure to capture the three-tailed time 23.47 Kirigakure. On behalf of Mei, well, it's time for Naruto to go to bed. Naruto, good. I lay down on the bed and stretched out my hands to Naruto. He moved towards me without resisting and hugged me back. During these few days that he has been living with me, I have become very attached to him. Actually, as he came to me, I can't imagine my life without this little Uzumaki. I understand that because of the message that I sent the Hokage, he will send a delegation to us or personally come to the village, so it is necessary to register Naruto as a resident of the fog as soon as possible and change his name. The next morning, on behalf of Naruto, I took a book with recipes and found udon with chicken there. I decided to cook it. It was not complicated, but I lacked some ingredients. Recipe: udon noodles 300g, chicken fillet 250g, sweet pepper 2 pieces, string beans 50g, pak choi salad 80g, mini corn 50g, soy sprouts 30g, vegetable oil 50 ml, soy sauce 30 ml, oyster sauce 30 ml. The only thing that was a problem, I didn't have mini corn and pak choi salad. I dressed quietly and started to braid my hair into a long ponytail. All the time that I can remember, I have never cut them, and I'm not even going to because I really liked them. Now they reached up to my knees. It took me about 5 minutes to braid them, and after that they reached my tips. I took my pocket money and went to the store. The time was still early, but despite this, small shops were already open. I went to the shopping district where almost all the grocery stores were located. Going into the first store I came across, I began to take the necessary products for udon with chicken. Taking everything I needed, I went to pay Naruto. Hello girl, hello, where are your parents? Naruto, I came alone. Could you please calculate me and I'll go. Girl, aren't you too small to walk the streets alone? Naruto, maybe your humor is enough and you'll pay me off. Girl, okay, that's 1800 Ri. Naruto, take this. Girl, can I take you home? Naruto, thanks, but no. Girl, be careful. Naruto, of course I'm so sick of this attitude as a child. Going home, I saw Mei coming down the stairs. On behalf of Mei, I woke up and started to walk down the stairs. Surprisingly, I didn't feel any smell from the kitchen or any sounds. I didn't have time to go into the kitchen when I saw that the front door opens and Naruto comes in. As soon as he closed the door, I let out some of my ki. Mei, well, where were we? Young man. He slowly started to raise his head and smiled awkwardly. Naruto, I went grocery shopping. Mei, all alone at a time like this? Naruto, yes, who needs me there? Mei, Naruto, you do understand that it's dangerous for you to walk alone in the village? Naruto, but it's not like anyone doesn't know that I'm a Jinchuriki. Mei, and if some shinobi from other villages see you, do you have any idea what could happen? Naruto, well, I understood. Mei, that's nice, and if it happens again, you won't be able to sit at my place. Understood? Naruto, yes. Mei, what did you even buy? Naruto, salad and mini corn. Mei, and what are you going to cook? Naruto, udon with chicken Mei. Okay, I'm in the shower for now Naruto, I'll just have time to prepare the udon. Mei, then let's go. I sat down at my chair and started doing paperwork. And Naruto continued to study the technique of water healing jellyfish. A few minutes later, Umbu appeared in my office and after giving a message, he left. Message: Dear Mizukage, our delegation itself will arrive this afternoon to resolve the current situation. Mei, damn it. Naruto will take you home right now. Naruto, what happened? Mei, a delegation from Konoha will arrive soon. Naruto, okay, I get it Mei, and please don't leave the house. Naruto, yes Mei, come to me. Oh, yes Mizukage-sama. Mei, get him to my house immediately and so that no one can see clearly. Oh, that's right, on behalf of Naruto, he picked me up in his arms and then jumped out of the window. He was moving so fast that I didn't have time to follow his movements. In an instant we were in front of the house. He lowered me to the ground, after which I thanked him and immediately went home. I didn't like the opportunity to be back in Konoha. I didn't know what to do, so I decided to practice the technique of healing water jellyfish. I took a kitchen knife and cut my palm a little. After that, I began to concentrate the chakra for the technique. A jellyfish formed on the arm from the chakra, which began to heal the wound. This technique is very useful, but I didn't feel particularly tired because of the cost of the chakra. So I decided to go further. I held my hand over the sink and then cut the veins on my right hand. I started concentrating the chakra for the healing jellyfish again, but this time it turned out to be more difficult. Although I did not understand the reason, I felt the pain as such muffled. This time I spent a lot more chakra than in my last attempt. But I was still able to heal my hand. I did not dare to experiment further. I started cleaning the house, first washed the floors, then washed all the things like my tie and Mei. And out of complete hopelessness and boredom, I began to train. On behalf of Mei, 2 minutes later, a snake appeared in the office and reported that he had delivered Naruto home. A few minutes later, AO came into my office and provided the documents. AO, everything is as you ordered. Mizukage-sama. Mei, thank you AO. Are you sure you can't find fault with these documents? AO, that's right. Remember one day we sent documents to the daimyo for signing? Mei, yes I remember AO. Among these documents there was one blank sheet and it seems that the daimyo did not notice it. I took the liberty of retroactively registering this boy as your adopted son. Mei, you did a good job with that AO, you just have to choose a name for him. Mei, well I heard you AO, register him as Takashi Uzumaki. AO, that's right Mizukage-sama. Mei, you can be free. 20 minutes later, AO entered the office and announced the arrival of a delegation from Konoha headed by Hokage. Minato, good afternoon Mizukage-sama. Mei, good afternoon Hokage-sama. Minato, if you don't mind, let's get right to the point. Mei, of course Minato, I would like to explain the situation. Mei, I'm listening to you. Minato, that group of shinobi that attacked the three-tailed is a group of apostates. Mei, Hokage-sama, we had to sacrifice one of the captured shinobi, thanks to which we were able to find out that it was absolutely not unauthorized, but by order. So please stop this circus and let's discuss compensation. Minato's thoughts, damn. And this old idiot, he said that his umbu can't crack. Okay, later on the 4th, that's a bastard. Mei, if we don't start talking like serious people now, I will have to ask Mifune-sama about the proceedings in this situation. And believe me, if he starts calculating compensation, then you will find yourself in a debt pit for a long time. Minato, well, why is it so radical that you want Mizukage-sama? Mei, I want the scroll of the second Hokage. Minato, what? On behalf of Mei, when I told him my demand, he jumped up from his seat. Mei, yes, you heard everything correctly. Minato, do you even understand what you're talking about? Mei, of course I'm not at the age to confuse my thoughts yet. Minato, don't you think you want too much? Mei, don't you think that this is a decent payment for your offense, or do you want me to demand clan children as compensation? Minato. A scroll will be good for you, May. That's nice, I'm glad that we found a compromise, and yes, I would like you to give us the original because in the light of new events, there is no trust in you. Minato, I heard you. Let me take my leave, the scroll will be delivered to you tomorrow morning. May, that's nice Hokage-sama. After finishing negotiations with Hokage, I headed home to Naruto. Going into the house, I was surprised, it was cleaner than when I bought it. And in the hall, Naruto was lying on the floor in the pose of a star. May, as I see you got bored. Naruto, yeah May, why didn't you just fall asleep? Naruto, then I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. May, and what did you do in such cases before? Naruto, I slept during the day, and then in the evening at 4 o'clock I walked around the village. At that time there were no residents and the shinobi were so drunk that they didn't even notice me. Then I could go to the river and go fishing, but by 5 or 6 o'clock I was at home and slept off. May, you do realize that this lifestyle was bad for you? Naruto, I didn't really care about it then, I didn't have friends, I didn't have parents, I didn't have anyone. May, well, now you have me. Naruto, I know, by the way, how the negotiations went. May, it's not bad, but you'll have to stay at home tomorrow. Naruto, again May, we'll have to wait a little longer. Naruto, then I want some kind of technique, because today I did everything I could. I washed the whole house, washed all the clothes in the house. All that is possible and smoothed it, and then cooked to eat. May, looks like you had a fun day. I took a scroll from the table in the hall and threw it to Naruto. May, this is a water mosquito technique. Naruto, what is it for? May, a water technique that can remove poison and other filth from your body. If you master this technique perfectly, you will be able to use it without manual seals. Naruto, good. By the way, I learned the technique of healing water jellyfish. He went into the kitchen and took a kitchen knife and cut his hand. May, what are you doing? I went up to Naruto and gave him a strong slap on the back of the head, from which he staggered and looked at me with incomprehension in his eyes. May, don't ever do that again. Naruto, but after all, May, no buts. Naruto, okay May, and don't even think about using the water mosquito technique on yourself, I'll prepare everything myself. Just ask. Naruto, good May, well, let's go eat the next day. Ao, Mizuki-sama, an envoy from Konoha has arrived for you. May, okay, let him go. I looked at the door and a young man, about 17 or 18 years old, came in. He had short, disheveled dark hair, a rather wide nose and prominent eyelashes sticking up. He wore the standard clothing of the Uchiha clan, which consisted of a dark shirt with a high collar, which he wore with a tanto tied to the back of his right shoulder, and dark pants. He also wore a kind of leather attachment for his tanto. It was worn on both his shoulders and slung over his chest. Guy, good afternoon. Mizuki-sama. May, good afternoon, could you introduce yourself? Guy, Shursui Uchiha, I arrived with a package from Hokage. May, it's good. He took a small scroll out of his pocket and started walking over to the table to give it to me. I got up from my seat and for a second it seemed to me that something flashed in his eyes. Shursui, take. Mizuki-sama. May, is it an ordinary scroll or is there a key to it? Shursui, wait a second. He put the scroll not on the table and opened it and folded a pair of hand furnaces. After that, a scroll about a meter in length appeared in his hands. May, as I see it is sealed. Shursui, unfortunately, I do not have the key to this seal, let me take my leave. May, of course that bastard, he slipped me a scroll sealed with blood seals. Ahaha, although this bastard has fulfilled his part of the deal. May, Ao, give our masters this scroll and let them try to print it. Ao, that's right. Konoha, Uchiha clan, on behalf of Shursui. Shursui, good evening. Fugaku-sama, can you tell me where Itachi is now? Fugaku, he's in his room. Shursui, thanks. Fugaku, are you serious about something? Shursui, I want to discuss this with Itachi. Itachi, what brings you? Shursui, Shursui, I have a serious conversation with you. Flashback when I approached Mizuga and used Koto Amatsukami on her, I saw her. Memories. And now I know that they have Jinchuriki, but he got there not of his own free will but also not under compulsion. I found out that he got there because of the hatred of people and the negligence of our shinobi. And in her memories, I saw how the life of this guy changed for the better, and I also learned that our Hokage is not such a wonderful person as he is considered. End flashback. Itachi, what do you mean by that? Sure, I mean, our former Jinchuriki is the son of the fourth and Kushina-sama Itachi, so the Hokage's family refused this child. Sure, no. Only the fourth refused it, and the others don't know about it. Itachi, sure, what are we going to do with the coup? I understand of course that it is just brewing, but what will happen if nothing changes? Sure, then I'll use Koto Amatsuki on Fugaku-sama and Minato-sama, but I'll have to get rid of Danzo. I suspect that he is behind the kidnapping of the Uchi. Itachi, and what are we going to do with the nine-tailed Jinchuriki? Sure, we will no longer be able to attract him back without influencing him. Besides, I'm not sure that even Koto Amatsuki will last on it for a long time, because the fox chakra is very destructive and genjutsu does not work well on Uzumaki. And if the illusion subsides, I am sure that he will not spare his life and destroy Konoha. Besides, if you remember your past experience, it was pure luck, due to the fact that he himself wanted to forget everything. Itachi, yes, I understand that perfectly. We need to start the plan as soon as possible. Sure, then I'll start right now. Itachi, okay, then let's start with Danzo Umbu root database. Itachi, hello Danzo-sama. Sure, good evening Danzo, what brings you here? Itachi, Danzo-sama, we came to you about the missing Uchi. Danzo, and what do you want? Sure, we know that you are behind their abduction. Danzo, and what? Sure, we'll have to eliminate you. Danzo, well, try. About 100 root Umbu appeared in front of us, among them were representatives of almost all Konoha clans. I immediately activated Susanoo and dragged Itachi into it. With one blow I destroyed about 9 people. Itachi began to fold the seals and released a huge fireball. One of the shinobi blocked him with a water wall, but he was touched by the steam that formed. A lot of kunai with explosive seals attached flew at me. I did not pay attention to it, rushed into the attack. The explosive seals hit Susanoo, but do not cause any damage. I attacked the right side and at the same time Itachi created a shadow clone and used the techniques of the Great Fireball and the Sage Phoenix Flower Scarlet Claw. We were able to pick up about 15 more people, and the head of the root watched this and threw off the pads with his right hand. At this pace, we fought for about 10 more minutes. When only Danzo remained, I scattered Susanoo. Danzo immediately rushed at me using vacuum bullets. It was not difficult for me to dodge the bullets. Then he raised his left hand and tried to tear out my eye. I used genjutsu on him and took his hand to the side. With a sudden movement, he tore out my right eye and jumped away. Sure, how so? Bandages fell from Danzo's hand and face and I saw 10 implanted Sharingans. Sure, it's Izanagi. Danzo tried to lunge at me, but Itachi didn't let him do it. Appearing in front of him, he attached an explosive seal to him and pushed him away. Danzo used Izanagi again and appeared behind Itachi's back, hitting him in the back with a kunai. But he broke up into a lot of crows who began to attack him. I used Amaterasu on it, after which I formed Susanoo's skeleton. Every time we killed Danzo, he was reborn along with my eye. When there was only one Sharingan left in his eye, he ran at me. I stretched out his heart, after which the last Sharingan closed in his eye. He appeared behind me and used the reverse printing of 4 characters. Black ink began to pour out of his body. To delay this technique, I used a full Susanoo. It touched the roof of the shelter. Grabbing Susanoo Itachi with my hand, I threw him out of the dungeon and myself escaped through the back of Susanoo, who had not yet had time to unwind. A rumble was heard at the bottom and the roof of the root base began to fall down. Itachi picked me up in his arms and carried me towards the clan quarter. Shursui, Itachi, wait Itachi, what is Shursui? Stop. Itachi carried me through the Konoha forest. We stopped near a waterfall. Getting to my feet, I looked into Itachi's eyes with my only eye and used the illusion to convey all my memories to Itachi. He looked at me with incomprehension. Shursui, Itachi can't let my only eye fall into the wrong hands, so take it as my parting gift. Itachi, but Shursui, Itachi, promise me that you will keep it. Itachi, I promise. I went to the edge of the cliff and jumped down. Even without eyes, I saw Itachi run up to the cliff and watched me fall down, with tears in his eyes. On behalf of Itachi, good evening Hokage-sama. Minato, I would prefer a personal meeting rather than this farce with a clone. Itachi, these are Minato's precautionary measures. And what do you want? Itachi, I want you to stop oppressing the Uchiha clan. Minato, why on earth? I quite benefit from the coup that your clan is planning. Thanks to him, the shinobi entrusted to me will be able to get Sharingan, and I will be able to strengthen my power. Itachi, otherwise, I will have to tell your wife about the false death of your son, who was a Jinchuriki, and I will also inform other villages that we have lost Jinchuriki. Minato, you wouldn't dare. Itachi, by no means Hokage-sama, if I lose my entire clan, nothing will keep me here anymore. Minato, even if the oppression of your clan stops, you understand that the uprising will not stop. We have reached the point of no return. Itachi, I'll take care of that. Minato, let's say I agree in order not to touch your clan, but you must understand that you can no longer be a shinobi of this village. Itachi, I'll get over it. Minato, well, I agree, but if all the beginnings of the uprising are not destroyed by tomorrow, your clan will be destroyed. Itachi, already executed. Minato, my clan has already forgotten the very idea of rebellion. Flashback 60 minutes before the Hokage house. On behalf of Kushina, I put the kids to bed and went to the kitchen and started washing dishes after dinner, when suddenly someone knocked on the door. It definitely wasn't Minato. After all, he had the keys to the house and could move at any moment with the help of Hiration. I went to the door and opened it. Itachi was standing on the threshold. Kushina, Itachi, what brought you? Itachi, this is my clone Kushina-sama, I have a serious conversation with you. Kushina, and what is it? Itachi, this concerns your husband and younger son. Kushina, Itachi, it's not funny, you know that Naruto is dead. Itachi, this is not so. Kushina-sama, Kushina, what did you say? Itachi, there's too much to explain at the moment, so in the eyes of Itachi, the Sharingan swerved and we found ourselves in his genjutsu. Kushina, what does it mean? Itachi, this is for greater convenience. Kushina-sama, your son is alive, and your husband sealed a fox in him and then sent him to an orphanage. But that's not all, now your son is outside the land of fire and his life is not in danger. Kushina, where is he now? Itachi, in the village of Hidden Fog. Kushina, I have to return it, but first I will cripple Minato. Itachi, no. That's why I came. This conversation will be sealed deep in your memory until better times or until the moment you meet Naruto. As soon as his chakra gets into your field of vision, you will remember our conversation. I will also seal a couple of memories about your son, and now goodbye. Before I could say anything to Itachi, I blacked out and fell asleep. On behalf of Itachi, I caught Kushina-sama and put her on the sofa, making sure that the illusion lay down correctly. My clone was dispelled. I myself was standing in front of the entrance to the clan quarter. After walking a few houses, I went into the house, and then immediately went to my father's office. Fugaku, did you want something? Itachi, yes. I want you to gather all the participants of the uprising. Fugaku, and why do you need this? Itachi, I want to stop the uprising, without bloodshed on both sides. Fugaku, how is Itachi? I use Koto Amatsukami on people and make them forget about the uprising. Fugaku, no Itachi, father, be reasonable. Fugaku, our clan was oppressed from the time of the first Hokage until today, but soon it will stop. If you want to carry out your plan, you'll have to kill me. Itachi, but Fugaku's father, son. As the current head of the Uchiha clan, I can't afford it. Honor is valued in our clan, so kill me if you're going to stop at Itachi. Good father, we went to the largest training ground of our clan. Fugaku, this fight will take place without any techniques other than Sharingan techniques. Itachi, good. My father and I clashed in close combat. Manjiko Sharingan was burning in his eyes. In order to keep up with my father, I activated my Manjiko. Our fight started with several test strikes that each of us deflected. We pulled away from each other and activated Susanoo. His dark purple Susanoo immediately took on a humanoid form. As for the size, our Susanoo were on an equal footing. But when my father saw that my Susanoo had a Totsuka blade and a Yato mirror, his eyes widened. Fugaku, as I see it, you become very strong for the next clan head. Itachi, it's so father, but it's time to stop it father. On behalf of Fugaku, as soon as I took a defensive posture to ward off my son's sword, I felt like my heart was pierced. I couldn't even see his attack, after my Susanoo dissipated and my son and I fell to the ground. Fugaku, you will become a worthy clan head. On behalf of Itachi, I stood in front of my father and controlled his mind with a Sharingan. I was showing him his last fight, which he deserves as the head of the clan. When the time came, I took my sword and pierced his heart. Fugaku, you will become worthy the head of the clan. Itachi, thank you father. After these words, his eyes closed and he fell into an eternal sleep. Itachi, I hope that someday you will forgive me. I baked my father's body, then went to the main square of the clan and announced an urgent meeting of the entire clan. People immediately began to gather. Most likely they were counting on the fact that the father wanted to declare an uprising. After I made sure that everything the clan members gathered, I activated Shirsue's last gift. The clan members hesitated at first, but it was too late. After that, I made it so that every member of the clan forgot about the idea of rebellion and was loyal to his clan to the last drop of blood. Kirigakure, on behalf of Mei, head of the research department, Mizukichi-sama, we have studied the scroll that you gave us and we have bad news. Without the blood of the fourth Hokage, we will not be able to print the scroll. Mei, I understand you. Tell me, can closely related blood weaken the seal? Head of the research department, quite Mizukichi-sama, but where will we find closely related blood? Mei, you don't have to worry about it. Head of the research department, okay, then I'll go and prepare everything. Today Naruto was sitting at home and studying the technique of the water mosquito. It is much more difficult to use than an aquatic medicinal jellyfish. Probably all due to the fact that you need to maintain a whole swarm of mosquitoes at once and also set them a direction without changing their shape. I went home and saw Naruto supporting a small swarm of mosquitoes of no more than 30 individuals. Mei, and you're doing pretty well. Out of surprise, he interrupted the technique and all the water from the water mosquitoes fell to the floor. Naruto, this is much more complicated than the water jellyfish technique. Mei, it's natural. Besides, the one on whom you apply this technique will feel a lot of pain. Naruto, I've already read about this side effect. Mei, Naruto, could you give me some of your blood? Naruto, okay, but why? Mei, let's just say I really need her right now. Naruto, can I have some equipment in return? Mei, well, I think I can find something for you. Naruto, well, take as much as you need. I took out a small syringe and took some of his blood from his vein. Mei, thanks. Naruto, Naruto, you'll come. Mei, okay, I'll be back later, but now I have things to do. I went into the research and sealing department, after which I moved towards the head of the research department. Head of the research department, as I see Mizukichi-sama, you brought what you need. Mei, you see correctly, and let's get the result without delay. Head of the research department, that's right. He took a small inkwell and poured half of the syringe into it, then moistened the brush there and began tracing all the symbols of the bloody seal. When he finished, two people called to him and they started printing. The seal yielded, but with difficulty. Then one of them took the remains of the syringe and poured them into the center of the seal. The seal began to open, but its maintenance was a difficult task. After there was a sharp pop and they flew away. When I got closer, I saw that they were not hurt. Looking towards the scroll, I saw that the seal was broken and in some places there were traces of ink. When I unfolded the scroll, I saw several dozen techniques. After examining them more closely, I saw 2 techniques that could suit Naruto and speed up his training. One of these techniques was shadow clones, and the second technique was called separation of consciousness. Together, these 2 techniques should be just perfectly combined with each other. Shadow clones will be able to thin out their accumulated knowledge and all the information to him, and due to the divided consciousness, he will be able to digest all the information many times faster and even think over a battle plan in the midst of it. On behalf of May, after rolling up the scroll, I thanked the research department and headed to my office. Sitting down in my rightful place, I took out an empty scroll and began to rewrite all the techniques from the scroll there. Summoning Ao to me, I handed him the first scroll with techniques and told him to take it to the vault with the rest of the secret scrolls, while I sealed the second one in a smaller one and put it in my pocket. Ao, as I see, you managed to print the scroll of the second Hokage May. That's right Ao. Are there any techniques that we can teach our juniors May? Quite, out of all this diversity, I can list such techniques as heavenly crying, a bursting wave, a water lift, a water gargan attack, 1,000 deadly water needles technique, a nascent storm technique. The rest of the techniques are either already known to us, or are too complex in execution and are considered forbidden. Ao, it's clear May, later I will give you a scroll with the techniques that our shinobi will have to learn. Ao, allow me to leave May. Of course today was full of paper routine, mostly related to this scroll. He needed to organize a decent defense, and he also needed to make a complete reorganization of the council, which is already putting sticks in my wheels, but unfortunately even Kage does not have the authority to do this. Sighing heavily, I looked at the clock on which it was 1:12 May. Oh shit, that's what I'm late for. I hope Naruto isn't worried. Quickly putting away the papers, I went home. The light was on only in the kitchen. Going into the house I saw Naruto, who folded his arms and waited for me, almost falling asleep. Shifting his gaze to me, he quietly stood up and began to warm up the food. Naruto, you're late today May. A lot to do for some reason. Now I felt like a naughty child. Naruto, sit down, you're probably hungry May. You shouldn't have waited for me Naruto, and leave you hungry. I won't forgive myself for that May. As promised, I brought you some techniques to study Naruto. Nice, put it on the table, I'll start studying them after sleep. After warming up the food, he put the food in front of me. Thanking him for it, I began to devour it. After I ate, Naruto gave me a towel and a set of clothes, sending me to the shower, and he began to wash the dishes. Just to think that I'm an adult girl, and a 5-year-old boy is taking care of me and not the other way around. Because of his actions, I felt useless, which is probably why I don't have a boyfriend or a husband. After taking a shower, I saw Naruto sleeping. This picture touched me. If you think about it, then only Naruto will always wait for me at home and warm my bed, no matter how contrary it sounds now. I lay down on the opposite side of the bed, clutching Naruto to me like a plush toy, at first glance so small and fragile but not broken. When I woke up, I looked around and noticed Naruto still sleeping. I was surprised by this fact, as it was usually he who got up earlier and cooked food for me. Standing up carefully so as not to wake Naruto, I went to the kitchen and looked at the clock. It was 5:21. For the first time in a long period I get up so early, especially for no reason. But I decided to use this time to good use and cook scrambled eggs for Naruto and me. On behalf of Naruto, I woke up and didn't find May next to me. It was really strange. Did she have to leave for work earlier? Going down to the bottom, I heard squawking sounds coming from the kitchen. Going inside, I saw May, who was cooking scrambled eggs for breakfast. May, and here you are. sit down at this breakfast is almost ready." She smiled so sincerely and warmly that I forgot most of the words and just thanked her. "Naruto, thanks mom." It was only when I finished this sentence that I realized what I had said and lowered it down. There was surprise on Mei's face. It was the only thing I saw before I lowered my head. "Naruto, I'm sorry." I saw how she began to approach me slowly and was afraid that she might be offended by my words. I got a strong slap on the head and could barely keep my feet. "Mei, what are you apologizing for, you idiot?" "Naruto, well, I called you, Mei. It's okay that you called me mom. If you want, you can continue to call me that." "Naruto, but after all, Mei, I don't want to hear anything else, and now let's eat." "Naruto, okay mame. Well, that's nice." On behalf of Mei, just to think I appeared in this boy's life quite recently, but he can already call me his mother. And to tell the truth, he has sunk into my soul. I think that in my life there were just such moments when you can sit quietly and have breakfast with a person dear to your heart. I laid out the plates with scrambled eggs and we started having breakfast. Breakfast passed quickly. After thinking a little, I looked at the figure who started washing the dishes. "Naruto, tell me, do you want to enter the Shinobi Academy ahead of schedule?" "What?" "It's just that they will pay due attention to your education, but I can't devote enough time to it because of Mizuki's position." I looked at Naruto's back. He barely shuddered. "No. Everything suits me as it is, but, no. You don't want to act because you are afraid of something or something else. I don't want other teachers. Everything suits me perfectly." Good. Looking at Naruto from behind, I saw how his shoulders relaxed. It looks like he is still afraid of other people in my absence. "Naruto, I have a gift for you." "And what is it?" "Kunai, senbons, seals, or a scroll with a technique." "Ha, how smart you are." "Yes, it's a scroll with techniques." "And what kind of techniques are they?" "They are cool and strong. They will help you in your future training. This is a technique of shadow cloning and separation of consciousness." "That sounds great." "Yes, but I'll give it to you after a little exam. Do you remember those books that I gave you?" "Yes, I'll give you a little test on them and if you can handle it, I'll give you the scrolls." It's mandatory. It's not that you haven't read them, or are you afraid of not passing my exam?" "This is nonsense. I've read them for a long time and I'm ready for anything. I just think it's a waste of time." "Well, then you'll have to deal with him quickly." "Of course, Databeo. Well, that's nice. We just have an hour left before work, so you should have enough time going up to my home office." I took a test sample for first-year students of the academy and gave it to Naruto. And began to wait. He diligently displayed each character, but they all turned out to be a little crooked. I'll have to do calligraphy with him. 20 minutes later, he gave me a task sheet. He answered all the questions correctly. He answered some of them even in more detail than was necessary. "You're a good fellow, Naruto. It looks like you deserve these techniques, and you doubted me." "Databeo, okay, but be careful with these techniques." "Of course, okay, get ready, we have to go to work." No sooner had I entered my office than my secretary pulled me and Naruto together. "Mizuki-sama Council requests your presence at the clan council, but the next council was supposed to take place at the end of the month. They say it's serious." "Well, tell me what I'm going to be right now." "Naruto, wait for me in my office." In the assembly hall, "Mizuki-sama, news has reached us that the boy you sheltered is the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed." "And what do you mean by that?" "We demand that bookmarks be installed on it, after which it would be transferred to our best shinobi for training. After the death of the third Mizuki, we lost the main weapon of the village, and our current situation is quite deplorable in relation to other villages. Are you out of your mind?" "Mizuki-sama, you should be grateful to us for not informing the daimyo-sama about the concealment of such valuable information, otherwise he would have been forced to call a meeting to immediately deprive you of the title of Kage. I won't let you do that to him. You have no right to vote on this issue. While you were not there, we all unanimously made this decision. You are given a week to perform it. You do understand that at the moment there is no bookmark on it? And do you think that Konoha, for no reason, decided not to bookmark her Jinchuriki. Moreover, having at her disposal a pure-blooded Uzumaki and a fourth Sama who is known not only for his speed but also for his knowledge of sealing techniques, then you should hurry up and take action, otherwise the initiative will fall into our hands. I understand that this meeting can be considered over. Yes. Returning to my office, I kicked out all my guards and called Ao. Naruto dear, could you put on these earplugs when Ao comes? We need to talk to him seriously. Is this your Kage business again? Yes, good. On behalf of Naruto, taking the earplugs in my hands, I examined them. They were depicted with incomprehensible symbols. Most likely this is a sound seal, only this is its mini version for civilians to protect themselves from extraneous sounds. While I was looking at them, I heard the click of the door and saw Ao. I did not wait for May to tell me to plug my ears and immediately put earplugs in them. After looking at me, May nodded with satisfaction and turned to Ao. Nodding, he went to the wall and activated some seals. I sat down on the sofa and began to watch them. At first they communicated quite calmly, only small wrinkles on their faces spoke of their irritation. After a couple of minutes of conversation, May switched to screaming, although I could not hear it, but I saw her mouth quickly open and close and her hands gesticulate in a free manner. After a couple of minutes of argument, they both subsided as if coming to a single decision. After that, May came up to me and put me on her lap, hugged me, finally said something to Ao and he left. I felt the air from her mouth burning the back of my head. I decided not to take the earplugs out of my ears yet so that she could speak out even if no one would hear it. On behalf of May, when Naruto put on the earplugs, I ordered Ao to activate the barriers above the office so that no one could eavesdrop on us. Has something seriously happened? That's right, and this concerns Naruto. Did Konoha find out that he is with us? No. But that doesn't make things any better. The council somehow found out that Naruto is a Jinchuriki, although only a certain circle of people knew about it. And each of them was forbidden to disclose this information. Most likely, one of the clan heads could have sent his loyal subordinate to a nub to report to him about the situation in the village and in particular about your affairs. I think that after Yagura-sama, they are afraid that you can single-handedly seize power. Ao, they want me to bookmark Naruto, after which I gave him to study at Umbu. And if I don't, they threaten to inform on me to the daimyo, then deprive me of the title and take the situation into their own hands. What do you suggest? I can lose this boy, just like he can lose me. If I give it to him, he will definitely break and then no one and nothing will be able to save us and this whole world from his malice. Even if I have to, I will cut out the entire council at the root. It was time to reorganize the council. Mizukage-sama, do you at least understand what you're talking about? Oh, I am still very young and perfectly understand and realize my actions. No. After all, what you are plotting is complete nonsense. You are going to plunge this village into a civil war again. After all, not everyone will be happy that you decide to cut out the council and then put your own people in their places. How will it be different from the rule of Yagura-sama? The fact that he was a crazy paranoid who believes that children with a bloodline limit pose a threat. Mizukage-sama, I understand that you are very fond of this boy and I will lie if I say that I am completely indifferent to him, but don't you think that you resort to too aggressive actions? Then what are you offering me? They won't negotiate with me. They see Naruto as just a vessel for the nine-tailed demon fox. And if I do not fulfill their requirements, then most likely I will be removed from my post, and a bijou will be extracted from Naruto. Mizukage-sama, tell me honestly, what is this village or this boy of great value to you? What kind of stupid questions? Mizukage-sama, please don't interrupt me and listen to me. I see that this boy is very dear to you and most likely if you were faced with a choice of either me or him, you would be more likely to choose him. Therefore, answer that the village or Naruto is of great value to you. Naruto, for some reason, I was waiting for this particular choice. I have a plan with which we can save Naruto from this situation, but I'm afraid the death of several council members cannot be avoided, if not the entire council. And what do you suggest? I propose to pretend as if you are going to extract the kyubi from Naruto and under this pretext to mount the council outside the village, but the main thing is that the initiators for the public are the members of the council. My man will be waiting for you outside of it. Who is he? This is Momochi Zabuza, and he will kill all the members of the council under the pretext of protecting his Mizukage. I will immediately start Fabrikov cases against the members of the council and look for dirt on them. Your plan sounds very good, but explain why the former demon of the hidden mist should help us. After all, at the moment he is a renegade and one of the most coveted prey in the bingo book. Even before I joined the resistance against Yagura-sama under your leadership, I was one of the few friends of Zabuza-san, as well as his assistant, and since the Third World War shinobi he owes me. It was during the Third World Shinobi War that I received this Byakugan and was able to save Zabuza-san from death. I think if we can justify the honor of Zabuza-san, he will agree to it. Well, so be it. Approaching Naruto, I sat down next to him and then put him on my lap and hugged him. "Ao, I will count on you." "That's right, Mizukage-sama. Don't be afraid, my dear Naruto, I won't let anyone touch you with a finger." On behalf of Mei, hugging him tightly once again, I pulled the earplugs out of his ears and looked at him with a smile. "What happened?" "Nothing special. You're very excited. It's so noticeable." "Yes, you don't have to worry, I'll sort it out." "I won't. I've been living with a sense of excitement and fear all my life." "That's nice." Agrahead end flashback. At the moment Naruto is just over 5 years old. When I woke up in the shelter, I looked around. It was still early in the morning. It was 5:30 on the alarm clock. Carefully, so that the old floor under my feet does not creak, I left the pantry and headed for the exit. Quietly leaving the shelter, I went by devious ways to the bakery. At this time its owner usually exhibited fresh pastries. Carefully creeping up to the window where the bread was cooling, I grabbed one loaf and jumped into the bushes. After a few seconds the owner of the bakery returned and, without noticing the loss, left with the cooled bread. Having gone far enough away, I began to eat. Freshly baked bread is the best that can be in the morning. After my breakfast, I decided to drop into one of my favorite gardens, where I could always take a couple of apples and pears and not even get paid for it. Because an elderly couple lived there, and they really didn't like when fruit was eaten for nothing. Therefore, even when children climbed into their garden in front of their eyes and plucked fruit, they were not angry. Of course it did not concern me, but because of my poor eyesight, I often left unnoticed. I quickly jumped over the fence and took 2 apples and 1 pear and headed to the shelter. The time was already approaching 8 o'clock and the breakfast time at the shelter was already over. Well, to hell with it, because during lunch the best I could count on was yesterday's leftovers, and if not sent, then smelly so much that you can't even get close. No sooner had I entered the shelter than I was immediately hit on the head with a broom. It was one of the foster carers of the shelter. "You were summoned by the Hokage-sama demon, so get lost." "Okay, I'm on my way." After flying out of the shelter, I headed to the Hokage's office. The shortest way to the Hokage's office was through the shopping district, but the way to this place was closed to me. Only in very rare cases did a pass through this block. And the last time I had to dodge a whole pile of spoiled vegetables, but the worst thing is that after the vegetables, rotten eggs came into play. They were much harder to dodge and smelled much worse. So I decided to go on the roofs, but the most difficult thing is to climb to the top. I started climbing up the drain pipe and almost fell when it started to move away. Thank Kami that it was fixed in several places. I ran to the residence. Many believed that only shinobi could walk on the roofs, but the distance between the roofs was not very large because of the dense buildings, so even children like me could move on them. When I reached the residence, I carefully went down and headed for the entrance. Entering the cabin, I greeted the Hokage and smiled at him. The same in turn just climbed into his desk drawer and threw the keys into my hands. "These are the keys to your new house." "What?" One of my people will guide you. Now you will come here once a month and receive an orphan's allowance. Everything is clear, yes. Then you're free. Smiling at the Hokage, I thanked him. He looked at me with some kind of cold and unpleasant look, but I still made the smile freeze on my face. After leaving the residence, Umbu appeared next to me and walked forward without further words. Going after Umbu, the realization began to come to my head. I had already been in this quarter before. And if I remember correctly, it was called the Red Light District. As soon as Umbu brought me to the door, he immediately disappeared. I have a very bad feeling about this place. I turned the key and entered the small apartment. The apartment consisted of a kitchen, a combined bathroom and a hall that was also a bedroom. Walking around the apartment, I saw that the furniture was not in the best condition, in fact, as were the walls with parquet. I decided not to dwell on it too much and first clean up the apartment. When I finished in the late afternoon, I got hungry and rummaged through the shelves. I found only stocks of quickly brewed ramen. Having brewed and wished myself a pleasant appetite, I started to eat. During the meal I noticed that the street began to come to life and more people began to flash under the windows. Every now and then those very red lanterns began to sunbathe here and there, and women dressed in different, multicolored kimonos began to appear on the threshold of establishments. After finishing the ramen, I decided to watch the people, after putting out the lights. At night, this street seemed to come to life, especially if you compare it with the daytime. Shinobi started appearing here and there. Most of them were in high spirits. They began to approach the thresholds of the opened establishments and talk about something with the girls, then go into the depths of the establishments. There were also those who come already pretty drunk, but even their women were not deprived of attention. My house was located next to one of such establishments. I lived on the second floor. And strange sounds began to reach me, grinding, knocking, and moaning. In the name of Kami, what's going on there? But even despite my curiosity, it was scary for me to go outside. There were a lot of shinobi around and I'm sure that many of them would not be happy to see me. Later, a strange fragrance like perfume began to reach me. I was able to understand just a few smells of pear, plum, rosehip flowers, honey, lily and mendel. The other smells were unfamiliar to me. And each shop had its own fragrance. I was so carried away watching shinobi and girls in kimonos that I didn't notice how almost an hour had passed. My eyes were already closing, but the exciting sensation did not disappear anywhere. All these sounds and smells were strongly mixed in my head and did not want to leave it. I woke up early in the morning and looked out the window. Most of the establishments were still open, but most of them had lost their appeal without those beautiful girls and bright colors. I decided to run to the bakery, then go through the garden and home. Along the way, there were no problems. After having a snack, I decided to walk along the streets near my house. Turning the corner near my house, I saw one of the beautiful girls in a kimono who was smoking. "Hello, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and you? What are you doing here, boy, and where are your parents?" "I live in a house on the opposite side, and I have no parents. I am an orphan. Hokage-sama recently gave me an apartment here." For my words, the girl already choked on smoke. "What? Did they give you an apartment here?" "Yes, our Hokage has already completely lost his mind to give the child an apartment here. Everything is exactly better here than in the shelter. Since your name is, I'm Misaru." "Very nice, Naruto-kun, and this case is not you being called a demon." I was scared of this question, but I answered anyway, "Yes, ha ha ha. I imagined you to be big and threatening, according to shinobi stories. And you're such a baby." Hahas, don't be afraid, I won't hurt you. I don't have a habit of beating other people's children." I cautiously began to approach closer, and when I was already at arm's length, I was stroked on the head. "Hey Naruto, aren't you hungry, or else how do you not look skin and bones?" Usually a child of your age has a baby's plumpness, so don't you want to have a snack? And, well. Don't mumble, let's go eat. She put out her cigarette and took my hand. We entered through the back door. The passages on the ground floor were not too wide and there were few rooms. Wide passages were only in front of the entrance to the institution and in front of the stairs to the second floor. She opened one of the doors and pushed me forward and followed. Aiko Ritsu is our guest. The girls who were sitting at the table a couple of seconds ago turned their backs to me abruptly. Masaru, what do you mean? Why the hell did you bring a child here? Wow, what a sweetheart. Go to Aunt Aiko. Ritsu, take an example from Aiko and be friendly. This does not negate the fact that you dragged someone else's child to a brothel. Well, first of all, he is an orphan, so I don't think his parents will be offended. Secondly, since yesterday he has been living in a house on the opposite side, and thirdly, he is hungry. While I was frantically trying to figure out what to do, since one of the girls was not happy with me, they took me by the hand and pulled me onto their knees. Ritsu, don't yell at the child, you're scaring him. That is it also my fault in this situation? I didn't say that. Maybe you won't scare him with your skirmish and feed him at last. I just brought new chopsticks. If the mistress comes to our end, so don't shout. Besides, it's just 7 in the morning and we'll start working just from 12. What's your name, baby? I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Ha. What's funny, darling? Aren't you kidding me? No, I really am Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto-kun, and what did you do that they don't like you so much? Aiko, Well, what is it? I just asked. I do not know. The whole village hates me, but when I try to find out why, they blame me for the death of their loved ones and call me a demon. Yes, there are a lot of oddities in the world. Well, let's eat. Give Masaru the chopsticks. Hold Naruto. I accepted chopsticks with a bit of embarrassment. These girls were very strange. They were very friendly to me even though they knew who I was. Masaru-san was very kind to me. Although I saw her for the first time, Aiko-san almost squeezed me in general, and Ritsu-san behaved warily towards me. Thank you very much. I began to inspect the table from the products familiar to me. There was extra soy, ginger root, mushrooms and honey. There were also several fish and some shells on the table. Don't be shy, it's all exactly left after the night. What kind of shells are these? Is oysters. Oysters are bivalve mollusks that live in seawater. See Ritsu, even you can be nice to a child. Shut up, better. Girls, don't quarrel. Ritsu-san shook her head and went to the dressing table and began to put her hair in order, while the girls giggled and started shoving food into me. When the food didn't get into me anymore, I asked Aiko-san to let me go and, sprawled on the floor with a star, I dozed off. It was one of the best days of my life. From Mila Masaru. After our meal, Naruto fell asleep almost immediately. He looked so happy. Although what to expect from an orphan who no one cared about? Can we talk about this boy now? What's there to talk about? Masaru, stop pretending to be a fool and speak seriously. Do you have any idea what will happen if people find out that you brought him here? Nothing will happen. I'm sure that more than one person has not seen us, because there is no such idiot who will hang around the red light district from morning to early. Well, as for the shinobi, they also shouldn't have seen us together because the roof covered us from above. Aiko, tell her at least you. I don't mind this boy here. He reminds me of my little sister in some way. Please Aiko, don't start this conversation. And I didn't start. I'm just saying how I think. 2 against 1 you lost. Masaru, please tell me that you just invited him to eat with us and you're not going to leave him. Of course not. Of course I'm against the fact that he lives in the house next door, but it's better than living directly in a brothel. Aiko, wake him up and maybe he will stay a little longer. We need to sleep it off in 6 to 7 hours. The first customers will begin to appear. Just don't you dare kiss him to wake him up. Haha, is very funny to Masaru. Haha, and why not? I really wanted to make fun of you like that. Only the case didn't come across like that. On behalf of Naruto, I Felt someone start ruffling my hair. From an unusual feeling I jumped sharply and started looking around. I saw that it was Aiko-san. Sorry if I scared you, It's okay, Naruto. It's time for us to go to bed, since we work at night. So you can go home, okay? And who do you work for? We serve people, so all these places are bars. No, although alcohol is also sold here, it's just that I heard strange noises last night. Aiko-san and Misaru exchanged glances and looked at Ritsu-san. Sighing heavily, she rubbed her temples. Brothel is a place where mostly women provide services of an intimate nature to people who pay money for it. You don't even have to ask what it means to be intimate. Well, I kind of understood Naruto. What if Naruto anime, kurama, Naruto, what if hokage, fanfiction, anime stories, anime crossover, anime fanfics, itachi, Naruto fanfiction, what ifs, Naruto stories, Naruto uzumaki, Naruto what if Naruto was, what if Naruto, Naruto Genesis, the movie. What if Naruto is a genius descendant of Izuna, Naruto, and female Sasuke don't you dare mention that you visited such a place. Although a large number of people visit brothels, but in society they do not have the best reputation among ordinary residents. Among shinobi, everything is a little different due to the fact that they can die early and they visit these places in order to relieve stress, and if people hear that a child like you visited a similar place, they will understand it is not right. Okay, I understand everything, and I don't advise you to walk in this area after 7 p.m. Thank you for your hospitality, Misaru-san, Aiko-san, Ritsu-san. See you, Naruto, and, by Naruto-kun, goodbye. Misaru-san escorted me to the exit and, after saying goodbye once again, I headed towards the library. Since I still didn't fully understand all the words spoken by Ritsu-san. Entering the library, I quietly slipped into the reading room. At first I decided to find a dictionary to fully understand what a brothel is and what it means to be intimate. In the dictionary I found the word intimacy is a situation that disposes to the manifestation of a love relationship, to intimacy. Everything is absolutely not clear. I decided to go to the adult section to find at least something there. I was attracted by one big book called the Kama Sutra. Opening it, I began to read the preface, but my eyes caught on the following phrase of the Kama Sutra: the sphere of sensual, emotional life, attraction and love. As I read it, I realized what was happening in the neighboring houses. I was terribly ashamed, although I couldn't even understand why. This book described the relationship between a man and a woman, and there were their consequences in the form of offspring. But I had enough of this information, and closing the book I decided to go home. Anbu route, allow me to report to Danzo-sama. Report, Jinchuriki visited one of the brothels and made friends with 3 prostitutes. I need all the information about these women within an hour. That's right, end. There will be no second part. Unfortunately, the plot ended like this.